collectors, hobbyists, investors, sports fans, and just enthusiasts of live streaming entertainment. It's Saturday night, it's 8 p.m., and that must mean it's time for the Heritage Auction Summer Platinum Night Auction to close. Session 1 closing tonight. I am Mike Provenzale, the production manager in Heritage Sports, and on my right, the most comfortable, dressed down, roly-poly, adorable, and your roly-poly in the hobby, Mr. Tony Giese. Tony, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. I say this all the time. We are so excited to be here doing our Facebook Live, and this is what you work for. This is all the preparation, setting up at the National, of everything.
This is where the questions are answered.
Yes,
Tony.
they are.
Game 7 right now. Who's going to rise to the challenge? And we're up to the task. So tonight, we're going to talk about the items that are closing tonight in Session 1. Extended bidding begins at 10 p.m. Central Time. You have to have your bids in before that time in order to participate in the oh-so-exciting extended bidding with a 30-minute rule that takes place following that. Tomorrow night, Session 2, we'll be talking about that material as well. Hundreds of the most iconic cards, memorabilia, wax, you name it, we've got it. We've got Lou Gehrig's fishing rod in this auction.
How do you beat that?
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
So iconic items, interesting items, things that are trending up. And we're going to talk about it all tonight. Our favorite items, some of the interesting ones, the ones with the great stories. Tony, right off the bat, what's your favorite item in the auction? Number 1.
Magic Johnson jersey. The Magic Johnson jersey. I think that is a 7-figure item and such an iconic game for him, and to also
the 1980 NBA Finals Game 6,
and then to 84 as well. I mean, if you want to talk one of the moments that put the NBA back on the map, it really was that. It was Bird and Magic together coming into the league, and then Magic winning a title, especially subbing in for Kareem. Just an amazing jersey, especially that it's photo matched. And I think, we've seen it steadily rise as the days gone on. I think that will continue to go up, and I think that's a 7-figure jersey.
Yeah, very cool item. So unique, like you said. And there's going to be a lot of items like that tonight. I love the Peyton Manning jersey. You can see it right here. First jersey he wore in his first NFL game, his NFL debut. One of the most legendary careers in NFL history. It all started in that jersey right there. And tonight, it's going to join a new collection. Who's it going to be, Tony?
And it's photo matched. And it's so cool because I looked at that jersey today, and there is an aqua face mask mark that matches up specifically to that game.
And
they played the Dolphins.
He played against Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
And he threw a touchdown.
His first touchdown. Of his career record touchdowns. So a lot of history going to be going on tonight, and we're going to talk about it. You can be watching on our Facebook page. You can be watching on our YouTube channel. You can be watching on our recent bid screen at ha.com, a great place to watch it. The bids come in live. Each new bid jumps to the top of the list, so you can see what's happening. And a lot going on, and we're going to talk about it all. We're going to take you through extended bidding at 10 p.m., and beyond. We'll talk about what's going on in that extended bidding session. And like we said, more items tomorrow night in Session 2, close tomorrow night. We'll talk about those as well. And Tony, we have a big announcement tonight.
We do?
Yes.
I'm not getting fired, am I?
Get your playbook, Tony.
Oh, crap.
Report to the coach.
All right. We had a good run. Coach Ivy said
No, it's one of our favorite things is when we get the opportunity to do what we do for a great cause. And we are collaborating with Major League Baseball and Stand Up to Cancer, one of the best charitable organizations out there. And we are all working together. We have a charity auction that we launched today. You can find it at ha.com/standup. And is our bid to end cancer charity auction. Every single dollar bid is going directly to the doctors, the nurses, the researchers, the scientists who are working to end cancer. And we're very proud and very happy to be taking part in it and partnering with Major League Baseball, who is providing the material. The top item is the opportunity to throw out a first pitch at this year's World Series.
Wow.
Yeah.
No pressure, though. No pressure.
You and 3 friends are going to get to go. You'll get tickets to the game, of course, and you're going to throw out the first pitch. Something that's usually reserved for luminaries.
Hall of Famers usually when you're talking World Series. Usually it's a Hall of Famer.
Tony, you've got a good arm. Do you think you could handle the pressure?
I could not handle the pressure. I would dump that ball into the ground. I'd bounce it in. I can guarantee you there's no way I'd be shaking.
Yeah, so
just the buzz.
More opportunity, that's the number one item, but Major League Baseball has sent us a lot of great items, and they're going to be sending more over the next few weeks. We've got a Manny Machado game-worn jersey, Christian Yelich game-worn jersey, Trey Mancini signed jersey, a cancer survivor, so a great piece there. Celebrities chipping in as well. We've got a Taylor Swift signed World Series ball from when she sang the national anthem at the 2008 World Series. Tom Hanks signed cap, and more items will be coming in. You can follow our social media and at the website at ha.com/standup. And if you happen to be watching any channel on live TV right now, Stand Up to Cancer's live telethon is going on with a lot of celebrities, a lot of stars bringing in money for this charity. They're going to be talking about this auction as well. So for those of you out here who like to win some great items and have every dollar go to a great prize, a great cause, please be sure to check that out. You get the prize. Tony, let's talk about the Platinum auction tonight. We've got some amazing items closing and just some iconic cards, as we've been talking about over the last year and a half, as everyone's been talking about. The card side is doing fantastic. Modern cards have really jumped up. We have some amazing modern cards, but we also have some of the most iconic cards that go back decades and even centuries in some cases.
The numbers, it's just astonishing when you look at some of the numbers. The Joe Jackson card, I think, just got hit, and it's at $340,000. I mean, my goodness, it's just amazing that the vintage just continues to go up and up and up. And, you know, I remember being at a Platinum Night sale in New York, I think it was, and we had, I don't know, like a dozen of the 52 mantles. And I thought to myself, how much longer can these go up? And now those prices have been trumped by the prices right now. It's just amazing that some of these cards continue to go up and up and up. I mean, it's a piece of Americana. It's a piece of history.
A lot of new people coming into the hobby, into the industry, collectors and investors alike. It's great to bring more people under the tent. It's good for everybody. As always, our main tenet at Heritage is to give collectors as much information as possible. So please always reach out to us. We love giving out free appraisals and giving our consigners an opportunity to present their iconic items the way they should be. And you mentioned that Joe Jackson card. Let's talk about that right off the top. It's one of my favorite. We've handled a few of these, and there are not many. This is the 1910 Old Mill Series 8 Joe Jackson in an SGC VG3. Just an iconic card. It's one of only 8 in the entire SGC population. And I love that image. 22-year-old Joe Jackson there, almost a full figure. This decade-long climb to the lofty edge he'd one day fall from. Tony. He's one of those mythic
so eloquently
characters.
put.
Yeah, he's one of those mythic characters. We saw it reflected in the Field of Dreams game. He is at the center of that story in the movie. And this one is a minor league card as well. He played 136 games with the 1910 New Orleans Pelicans, who he's here with. And after that, he would graduate to the major leagues, the Cleveland Indians. And that first year, he would be the first and only to date rookie to bat over 400.
I think it's a safe record. I don't think he's have to worry about that.
He was second only to Ty Cobb in batting average, which Ty Cobb was in the midst of, I believe he won 10 batting titles in a row right then. But a beautiful card, a true rarity, and this one has real crisp image registration. The corners are rounded, as you might expect from a card that's over 100 years old, but the image area is just pristine on this one, and it's going to clear $400,000.
Yeah, right now at 340, we're 408 with the buyer's premium, and it's funny to see a photo of him. Most of the photos you see of him are from the White Sox, and you don't see a lot of early images of him, and it's neat to see him kind of as his major league journey began, or right before it began. But yeah, an incredibly difficult card, and I think we've had a lot of record prices for Joe Jackson material, whether it be an autograph, whether it be
collectors love it.
Yep.
Great investment.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And I mean, you know, there's just so much charm with the whole story. Well, maybe I shouldn't say charm with the story, but there's just such an aura about him, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. And should he get in, I don't know if he ever will, but
I don't think he ever will, because it really adds to the mystique.
It does. Absolutely it does.
He would certainly be celebrated if he was, but then it's kind of over. And that
it takes away some of that luster if he did. Yeah.
But if you like Joe Jackson, we've got some amazing letters in this auction as well from Joe Jackson's lawyer, who was helping his lawsuits and court cases following the 1919 scandal, and some great content in there. So you can check those out. Those close tomorrow night. But speaking of iconic cards, this next one, the 1916 M1014 Sporting News Babe Ruth rookie. Huge card here, a PSA 6. There are only 2 superior to this example. And if during the 20s, Babe Ruth, of course, established himself as the greatest hitter of his era, maybe of all
saved the sport.
But in 1916, that's the year he distinguished himself as the sport's premier southpaw pitcher. He pitched against Walter Johnson 5 times that year. He won 4 of them. 2
I didn't know that.
by a score of 1-0. So he went head to head with the best in the game on the mound and took him down. He had 9 shutouts that year, and that is a record that stood until 1978.
Wow.
For a southpaw.
That's incredible.
Ron Guidry breaking that record in 78. He had a 1.75 ERA, Tony. We think about how dominant he was at the plate, but on the mound, just as dominant. And then, of course, in that 1916 World Series, he went the complete game in Game 2, 14-inning game, the longest pitching outing in postseason history still.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It got to the point he was such a good hitter that they needed him in the lineup every day.
Right.
And he just literally, they needed him, and he couldn't just play every 5 days. So, or 3 days.
I can't blame them for putting him in the line.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're seeing what Ohtani's doing now, great way for people to learn about that history of Ruth.
It is
on the mound. So an incredible card here. This is what we call museum quality. There's only 14 examples of this card with the Sporting News advertising back in the PSA population. And despite that tiny supply, it distinguishes itself even further. There's only 2 higher. There's a 7 and an 8, and this is the 6. Beautiful example, precisely registered and nearly perfectly centered. And corner is very sharp for a card of that age. So this is the kind of card that is going to elevate any collection.
This card has really gained momentum in the last 5 years. It was there wasn't a lot known of this card for so long. People just thought of Bowman, Topps, Leaf, Gaudy, but this one here has gained so much momentum as years have gone on, and it's Ruth, it's early Ruth. It's just an unbelievable card, and those have just kind of gone through the roof.
Yeah, and while we're talking about that one, we need to talk about this one. We have a Ruth card that's even rarer than that one in this auction. As you look at it here, this is the 1916 Gimbals M1014 front. It's going to look very familiar, same as the Sporting News, but it's the back that really adds to the appeal here and the scarcity. This is the Gimbals department store, long defunct department store, and this was done to tempt kids to visit the boys' clothing section of Gimbals. And it was a 20-card set, and they were only issued for 10 weeks, these cards.
Wow.
So a regional release, a short time of release, and that's why there's less than 10 known. And somebody's going to get this one tonight. Great centering on this one. The points lost primarily to the rounded corners, as you might expect, but really, really rare card, even rarer than the Sporting News variety. So some mammoth Ruth cards that are going to be closing tonight, Tony.
So guys weren't going to Gimbals to pick up the cards. Or the kids didn't go to Gimbals as much to pick up the cards, I could imagine.
Right. A little treat if you're going to get some knickers or something like that. You could also get a Babe Ruth card. But we got some great ones on the modern side, too. Juan Soto has been playing so good of late, Tony. So I had to talk about this one. This is the 2016 Bowman Chrome Prospect Autograph Soto, the gold refractor. It's a BGS 9.5, number 36 out of only 50. It's only one superior, one of the best players in the game, one of the great young players.
Won a World Series as a rookie, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was like 19 or 20 years old. I mean,
He was the youngest player in the bigs when he came in May of 2018. He was the first player born in 1998 or later to make the bigs.
Make me feel old.
And in
Thanks.
his first start, He had a 422-foot opposite field home run on the first pitch he saw in his first major league game. That is crazy. A month later, he was batting cleanup for the eventual World Series.
Go figure.
Champions.
Go figure.
So great investment piece here. We're going to be saying that a lot tonight. But one of the biggest stars in the game, an incredible rookie card here. He got his first batting title last year. He got his first Silver Slugger award. Top 10 finish, second top 10 finish in the MVP voting.
Many more to come, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so one of those guys with a lot of accolades, a lot of talent, and this one is a Beckett 10 autograph as well to go along with that 9.5. So amazing card. We got a little bit of everything here, Tony.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, in fact, we've got some NFTs. Should we talk about an NFT?
Absolutely.
We got a baseball one. Of course, it's Mike Trout. This is the 2021 Topps MLB Digital NFT. Mike Trout. What I love about this one, the 1952 Topps Redux, the design, and only 600 were minted. This is number one. That most valuable one you could have. And this is Topps flagship release goes digital with that 52 Topps imaging. And now we just learned Topps no longer, their contract's going to run out. So an end of an era.
There are a lot of sad people in the industry. I've had conversations the last few days, and people are just shocked, bummed, and that it's kind of the end of an era. Maybe something could still get worked out, we hope, but a
lot of people saying, what does this do to the prices of Topps things now that all of a sudden there's an end to that chapter?
Yeah.
This is one of those things that falls into that category. It's the first time that Topps' most well-known product has been available as an NFT, which is the newest part of the collecting genre. If you're a card collector, if you're a digital collector, this could be the crown jewel right there. I mean, Mike Trout, that's all you got to say.
Exactly.
About his accolades, the greatest player in the game right now. But a really great piece. And, for those who are looking to get in on the ground floor in the digital marketplace, which is still growing, this is a great item there.
Have the best of the best.
Yeah,
you can never go wrong.
Tony, I've been yakking.
Magic Johnson just got hit 512,500 right now. Expect that one to go crazy.
That's going to keep going.
Yes.
So it'll be fun to monitor that tonight. We'll keep you guys appraised of what the prices are doing on the big board. Tony, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, I get the floor finally? Oh, my goodness. How do I react to that? Honus Wagner, of course, everybody knows the baseball card. He did sign autographs, it's not like he didn't sign, but a single sign ball is a very, very difficult thing to find. You typically see him on team balls. You might see him on Hall of Fame postcards from time to time. A lot of index card, penny postcards. This here is one of the nicest single sign balls in existence from Honus Wagner, circa 1940. Right now it's at 23,000. Definitely room to grow yet on it. There's not a lot of Honus Wagner single sign balls. Why not have one of the best? 61
Huge
people.
Signature
it is. One. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous autograph, and you just don't, because back when people were getting autographs back then, they would get Honus Wagner, and then somebody else they would get. Exactly. You wouldn't just get the one. Well, whoever got this one had the wherewithal to not get anybody else to sign it. And very thin population of Honus Wagner singles. This is one of the nicest you're going to find. And an absolute blazer is the next one here. A Babe Ruth, earlier career autograph. It's on a very, very white period baseball, 1920s ball. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous. Most of the Ruth autographs you see are probably, late 20s and then 30s and the 40s. He signed prolifically. But an earlier career one with the quote marks, which is what he stopped doing around 27, 28, a little more difficult to find, but to find one in this quality, you can't go wrong. 87,500 right now. I expect a lot of action on that. Now, it's graded in overall by PSA 8.5. So just one of the nicest singles that you could ever own.
That's one that looks like it was just signed.
I know.
And then put away forever. It hasn't seen the light of day
just
until
gorgeous.
today. and somebody's going to take it home tonight.
Exactly.
Well, they're not going to take it home tonight, but they're going to win it.
Unless they fly in here or something.
We've got to give a shout out to Dean Lawler. He has been messaging. If you're on Facebook
Dean.
or YouTube, you can send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, Dean, one of the great people in the hobby, thank you for joining.
When I think of Derek Jeter cards, I think of Dean.
Absolutely.
And
that's a great Jeter tonight, 93 SP
yes,
and a PSA 10. One of the hardest modern cards to get a 10 in, almost impossible. But while you're talking about Ruth balls, we've seen a lot of Babe Ruth balls, and there's quite a few in this auction. Whatever level you collect at, you can find one. That's, you don't have an baseball autograph collection until you have a Babe Ruth ball in it.
Exactly.
But we have another one that has a great story. I love it. Any Babe Ruth ball is fantastic, of course, but I love ones with a story. So this is a circa 1948 Babe Ruth single sign baseball to the stepson of the producer and director of the Babe Ruth story, the movie. And a compelling keepsake from the final year of Babe's life as well. He signed this in his last year. So this comes to us. The consignor says his mother was Winnie Leitner, who starred in motion pictures from the 20s to the 40s, and she was married to Roy Del Ruth, a producer and director, and he produced and directed the Babe Ruth story starring William Bendix, and this ball was signed to his stepson, but the director asked Babe Ruth to do it, and fantastic example here, a 9 out of 10 black bold autograph, and he took his typical journey to the Western panel for the inscription here as he was personalizing it, and just a beautiful example from the Bambino there. And while we're talking baseballs, we have to talk about this one of the coolest autographed baseballs I've ever seen. This is the finest known Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe signed baseball. This one's a PSA 7.5. Huge item, another museum type piece here. A lot of people would love to have this. Of course, the ultimate celebrity pairing of all time. Their romance was the thing of legends, Tony, but it flamed out too quickly. And as all collectors know, Joe would not sign anything with her autograph,
adamant about
her image after her death. So you had to get these basically while they were married or shortly after. This one was acquired by a New York area photographer in the early 60s as the couple was believed to be considering a reconciliation while on vacation in Florida. He happened to spot them, and by luck, he had a baseball on him. So, of course, the most desirable form to have any baseball star's autograph, but especially these two. And he happened to have the baseball on him, got it signed. This whole event, this meeting, this autograph was memorialized in a 1989 edition of Newsday, which had a whole story about the meeting and the autograph and the event. This ball comes with a copy of that as well. But 10 out of 10 autographs.
Yeah, just
there.
Just gorgeous signatures.
On an official AL ball, too. How about that?
Yeah.
You happen to have it.
It's got everything you could want. It's got everything you could want. I mean, just to have anything signed by them together is incredibly difficult. And a baseball would be the medium everybody would love and would love to own. And
we see everything, Tony, and we've sold a Monroe and DiMaggio signed ball before. It went for a huge number, but that was over a decade ago.
Exactly.
You just do not see them, and this is the finest known. So a lot of people out there looking for those high-end, one-of-one, best-known, finest-known items, and this is right in that category, of course. All right, Tony.
We have a cool one, a cool bid that just came in. 1993, Michael Jordan signed original Polaroid photograph by Walter Ayas.
Cool
$8,000.
That's a very cool item. Two legends in their own field.
Yeah,
coming together.
And Mike's icing down his ankles. Has him in Gatorade buckets.
Gatorade shout out right there. Michael probably got a few dollars off that.
I'm sure he did. Michael seemed to get money off of everything that he did.
Brilliant marketer. And that's a cool item right there. Another unique one, a one-of-a-kind item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Up next for me here, the complete ready-made collection. The All-Star Game, of course, the Midsummer Classic, has been going on since 1933. I think there might have been, last year, and then I think in the 30s or 40s, there was one that didn't take place. Right. But this is a complete collection of every single All-Star Game program, even the years that they had multiple games.
Wow.
Yeah, right now it's at
voluminous
18,000.
is the only way to
It
describe
is, it
I was
is, and
looking through
rather
it the other day.
than having, and just to find one here, one there, you've got a ready-made collection, started, of course, from 1933. The first one, some of those early ones are really difficult to find, but this has got every single one, a complete collection of 87, and we'll even get you the one from this year.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Is that Tony Giese?
That is a
personal
guarantee.
promise
That
right
is a
there?
guarantee.
I like that. What else you got?
I've got this one here. I mean, we'll see an occasional Babe Ruth contract. We'll see an occasional Lou Gehrig contract. I have never seen a Ty Cobb signed contract.
I had not either.
And when this one came up, I'm like, I was just shocked because you don't see early baseball like this. 1914-15, Cobb, of course, was Ty Cobb. I mean, he could do everything. The greatest batsman, arguably probably the greatest hitter all time. If you wanted to hit home runs, he probably could have hit home runs.
He'd tell you he could.
Absolutely, sure. He would. But this one here, the first contract I've seen from Cobb, and this one right now at $230,000, just an incredible piece of baseball history.
And that one, from his prime, basically.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
He won his. We talked about his batting crown streak. I believe that was the 8th or 9th year in a row he won it. And that also covered 1915. He set the record for steals that stood until 68, I believe.
God.
Maury Wills broke it. So, yeah, I mean, almost 50 years he had the record. So, I think he made $15,000 or something on this contract.
Worth every penny.
Worth every penny.
Every single penny.
He was the best batter and the best base runner in baseball at the time. And, checks and documents, especially legal documents and business-related documents and player contracts for Cobb have an extra layer of cool because he was such a savvy businessman.
He was.
I mean, he crushed it after he got out of the game. One of the best ever as far as players flourishing and becoming entrepreneurs.
And a multi-millionaire. He invested in Coca-Cola.
Good investment.
Of course.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
So he could do it on and off the field, I guess.
All right, what else you got, Tony?
All right. Up next, we have.
Oh, no.
I think you're up.
All right. Yeah, while we're
I was ready to go, though.
I know. I was just testing you.
You're making sure I'm paying attention.
While we're talking contracts, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about this legendary piece. This is a 1932 Babe Ruth signed New York Yankees players contract. Checking a lot of boxes with all that right there. This was Babe's final championship season. The 2 years before, his contract had been the largest ever done. Famously, a reporter told him he was making more money than the president, Hoover, and he said, I had a better year than him. So that was $80,000. This contract's for $75,000.
He took a pay cut.
Babe Ruth did. It was a compromise between him and team president Jacob Ruppert, who also signed this contract, another Hall of Famer. Ruth wanted $80,000. Ruppert was stuck on 70, so they split the difference at 75 right here.
Bridge the gap, okay.
Of course, they had a press meeting when they signed it. They threw coins into a fountain and made a wish. Ruth said he wished to win another World Series title, and they did. They went to the World Series, and this is the season that he had one of his most iconic moments in that World Series against the Cubs. Game 3, the called shot. So a lot of importance with this. I mean, like we said, a Babe Ruth signed document. You've got the George Herman Ruth full name signature that you find only on legal documents like this. So a very cool item.
And the only time Colonel Ruppert got the best of Babe Ruth.
Yeah, that's it right there.
I mean, my goodness, that couldn't have happened too often. So
but yeah, collectors love bookend items, and this was the end of his championship string, his last season where he would win a title. So very cool item there. And then while we're talking Yankees contracts, here's an interesting one. This is the 1951 Mickey Mantle players contract assignment to the New York Yankees. Now, this is kind of a legal document. Mantle didn't sign it, but one of the most important documents in Major League Baseball history. This is what made Mickey Mantle a Yankee right here. It's an agreement between the Binghamton Exhibition Company Incorporated, the organizing body of the Yankees farm system at the time, and the New York Yankees to transfer, quote, Mickey Mantle for a sum of $25,000. Not a bad deal for the Yankees right there. And 1951, of course, he would waste no time in becoming one of the best players, one of the most popular players in the league. And this is what did it all right here. Signed at the bottom by the business manager of the farm system and Hall of Fame Yankees executive George Weiss in bold ink. So you've got a Hall of Famer's signature there, but the significance and importance of something like this cannot be understated. And it derives from the collection of a Yankees executive right there. He knew what he was holding on to. Very valuable piece of paper right there, Tony.
Yeah. And even though it's not signed by Mantle, just the historical relevance of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was
off the
a
charts.
power shift in the dynamic, especially because that 51 season is so important for the Yankees. The last season for Dimaggio, we're going to talk about that later. The first for Mantle. So, they were just handing the torch off perfectly right there from the face of Major League Baseball to the new face of Major League Baseball. And this is the document that made it happen. All right, Tony, you're
so this one.
Well, let's check the bid board. What do you got?
Okay, let's. SP Authentic, Tom Brady, Jeb Mint 10, 18,000. Napoleon Lajoie, single sign ball, 12,000. 27,000 for a Gehrig single sign ball. So you've seen a lot of movement on the autographs. This one here is such an iconic piece. 1996 NBA Finals Game 6 ticket stub signed by Michael Jordan.
The only one known,
known example, 15,500. And, I've been talking at the National. I had a conversation with some people. You had
conversations with a lot of people.
I did. Probably too many people. But, I don't anticipate him doing any more autograph signings with Upper Deck. I mean, he may never do another signing again.
Yeah.
And which is going to drive up the price of his autograph so much. And
a lot of Jordan material has come out. He's been very hot. His material is doing very good. So to get something that is the only one known, how many people were at that game? How many people had tickets? How many people are trying to get Jordan autographs? But still, this is the only one we've ever seen, the only one in the population.
When you could put one of one in a description. Oh my God, that was tough. Oh,
Nailed it.
How many times? How many takes do I have on that? Anytime you can put that in, of course, it just brings a lot of bidders, a lot of attention, and Jordan stuff has gone up so much in the last few years, and it's going to continue to keep going up.
Yeah, great investment.
And even if you got him to sign, he may not sign anymore. Who knows what he's going to sign and not sign?
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. That's exactly right.
And if somebody asks him, he might take it personally.
Could.
So Dean asks, he's amazed by all the material. He wants to know if we take children as down payments on any purchases. It depends on what kind of skills they have. If they have the small hands that can quickly put cards into
holders,
card savers,
screw downs, get the screw down. Yeah,
we're always looking for good interns, so we'll definitely work something out there. Tony, what do you got?
1955, Ted Williams Game Use All-Star Bat.
Whoa.
Incredibly difficult to find these. It's the only one. It's the only known one. It's common knowledge that they would typically issue 2 All-Star Bats per player. And, there's times where some of these guys didn't use them. This is one of the times Williams used this thing extensively. Great pine tar. PSA DNA Game Use 10. You can't get any better than that. 200,000 right now. And what I love about the All-Star bats, they have the city's name and the year, which kind of gives it an extra little bit of.
And that was the only one issued to him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Usually they get 2, so this was just the only one.
And there's been times, I've gone to do player collections, and so often they don't have any use to them.
Right.
So they would get them, they would just keep them as a memento from the game and not use them. Some guys did use them in the second half. Obviously, Williams used this one. And great use, Game Use 10.
And one of the best All-Star games of all time.
They went into extra innings, I think.
Stan Musial won it in the 12th with a walk-off. And but with this bat, Ted Williams almost put the American League ahead, and they would have won. Presumably, he hit a deep shot to center, but Willie Mays chased it down.
Oh, that Willie Mays.
At the wall on what would have been a home run for Williams with this bat. It's a cool little backstory on that. Mm-hmm. And speaking of bats, you got an important one here.
This one pulled Pete Rose even with Ty Cobb. This one, we say it checks the boxes. This one checks a lot of boxes. He was using Mizuno at the time. The taping on this is very distinct and classic Rose. That's what he was doing. There's 4 different swatches of tape on this. Of course, he inscribed it, notating that it was the bat that he used. But also, a nice little caveat. It was cork. It's a cork bat.
I love that note. Only with him does that add something.
Yes, usually it's a negative, but he was pulling all the stops to get to the record. He was getting up there in age, so he corked his bat set this time. That's the only time John Tauby will say, "Do you want me to X-ray the bat?"
Yeah,
and
yes,
of course,
please.
yes, we will definitely like that. And this is one of the corked ones. So game use 10, signed, great use. One of the biggest moments of his career when he tied Ty Cobb. I think it was at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
And a great display piece because he put the inscription with all the dates and the hit on there. So you've got that in your display case. If you're buying this bat, you've got a display case. We know you do. So
absolutely.
It's right there. Anybody walking by can just see how huge an item that is.
Yep. So just a great rose piece.
And speaking of bats, we mentioned Joe DiMaggio's final season, 1951. Huge piece here. It's a 1951 Joe DiMaggio game-used bat, the final bat he ever used. Definitively because teammate Billy Martin snagged it from the bat rack, which he talked about in his book, Billy Ball. I bet you've read it, Tony. So Joe DiMaggio gave 13 years of service. His last outing was the 1951 World Series when they beat the Giants. And Billy Martin says Joe retired after the 51 season. After the game in the 51 World Series, this is a quote from Billy Ball. I saw the bat in the rack and I took it and put it in my locker. Joe saw me take it and he didn't say a thing. In fact, he gave me some other stuff.
Billy Martin.
He said he gave him some scotch that somebody had given him. Billy said, I don't have the scotch anymore, but I still have the bat.
Wow.
So great provenance there. So Billy gave it to his friend, Vincent Fagoni, who owned racehorses. In fact, he named one Billy Ball after Billy Martin. They were very close friends. So he gave it to his friend, and they were meeting up at the Golden Gate Fields Racetrack Turf Club in Albany, California. And Billy said, I invited Joe DiMaggio. He's going to come. This is in the mid-'80s. So Vincent went home, got the bat, brought it back, and got DiMaggio to sign that autograph that's on there. And there was a photographer there who took a picture of DiMaggio signing this bat for him, and this is consigned by Vincent's daughter. So still directly from the family. Huge item. We talked about the bookends items, and this is literally the last bat Joe DiMaggio used at the end of his incredible career, and incredible provenance on it.
I say it to consignors all the time. You're buying the piece, but you're buying the story. That's one of the best stories as far as a DiMaggio piece I've ever heard.
Great photos in there, which you get as well.
There's
DiMaggio
in
looks
the catalog.
happy signing it. He's in the mid-'80s. He was thrilled. There's a little story in the letter of provenance about how excited he was to see the bat, and they all talked about his career. It was a nice little moment. There's the picture you can see right there. Everybody's excited there with Joe DiMaggio. Still looking very suave, I must say, but very cool piece. And speaking of that, this is a really unique one, another great Yankees piece.
Your personal favorite in this auction, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When I remember the day it came in. It's just
Do you really?
Things like, is that a fishing rod? And it was Lou Gehrig's fishing rod. This is a 1939 Lou Gehrig Day presentational fishing rod and reel from the Yankee Stadium ground screw. Everybody's watched the speech, the Luckiest Man speech from July 4th, 1939, one of the most heartrending moments in baseball history.
It is.
And if you've seen the photos of it, you can see all the awards and gifts that he had. And this was in there.
They have it all like by home plate, right?
Right.
And he's standing back. That's in that picture.
So in the speech, Gehrig says, and I quote, "When the New York Giants, a team you would give your right arm to beat and vice versa, sends you a gift, that's something. When everyone down to the groundskeepers and those boys in the white coats remember you with trophies, that's something." This is what he's talking about. The groundskeepers gave him this fishing pole. He loved to fish. We sold some personal photos of Lou Gehrig last year.
We did.
And there were some fishing photos in there. So it's a custom-made rod featuring a miniature baseball bat for the knob at the bottom, and it's affixed with an engraved plaque that reads, "To Lou Gehrig from Field and Stand Men of New York Yankees Stadium, July 4th, 1939." And Tony, the original line is still on that.
Oh my goodness, serious?
So you could be using the same line
How many pound tests?
Gehrig, I don't know. I didn't look into that. But if anybody wants to know, we'll find out. But so all those trophies in that pictures, many of them are in the Hall of Fame. But this one was acquired directly from Eleanor Gehrig by legendary collector Barry Halper. Wow. And it came into the hobby from the Barry Halper sale in 1999. So really unique item there. This, I mean, obviously a one of a kind, and good luck getting anything else, any of those other trophies or awards that were involved in there. But here's one that, you know, you have this in your office. Maybe if you're a fisherman and you're a Yankees fan, this is a
perfect item
right there.
And having that photo, just imagine having the fishing pole and then having that photo with his, you know, with his arms looking down like that. Yeah.
Very stoic. We've got Jason Lacombe commenting. Any CM Punk wrestling used memorabilia on the auctions tonight? Tony, I'm going to let you field that one.
I don't think we have anything. I've seen autographs. He is kind of a tougher signature. He does do some shows here and there, though. I've never seen anything of his actually worn sell.
But if anybody's got it, we're interested. We have a great wrestling section.
We do.
Be closing tomorrow
getting
night.
Some good action, too.
Yeah. And WWE Hall of Fame ring in there.
Dory Funk Jr.
That's a huge item.
Yeah, we've got two of his belts. One's at like $5,000. The other one's about $2,600 or in that $3,000 range. And we've got his Hall of Fame ring. We've got B. Brian Blair's collection. So unique items.
We've got a Hulk Hogan Scanlon's card as well. And
yes,
PSA
we do.
10, a Population 1 if you're into the wrestling cards.
We got the 85 O-Pee-Chee with the BGS 9.5. Which is the highest graded. So we've got that. Yeah, I mean, it's a genre that is starting to gain steam. For the longest time, people were like, it's hokey, it's not real, blah, blah, blah. But
there's some passionate fans.
They are very passionate.
I run our social media, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of passionate wrestling collectors out there that I talk to from time to time on there. So, Tony, take a look at the big board. We're going to
there's a couple that
let's hear it.
There's a couple that have really, really gone up. Clayton Kershaw's Major League debut jersey, $22,500. Wow. That one has gone up quite a bit.
With the Major League debut inscription on there.
Yes,
as well.
Yes. I'm surprised he didn't keep that.
You know, some of these players, you know, they live the moment. They don't need the accoutrements from it. So, or they'd rather collectors have it. You know, a lot of players are in the hobby collecting now, and they know that these things are important. Maybe they want to sell it. Maybe they give it to somebody who ends up selling it. But
or they just throw it in the hamper and then it gets washed and used the next day.
Right, exactly. Whatever. Like Tony's shirt right there, right?
Yes, he caught me. No, so a pretty spirited battle right now. A 1920 Babe Ruth game using signed bat.
Huge.
PSA 10 and Mears 10. It's just
earliest known signed Ruth gamer.
And it went up to 500,000. Now it's at 512,500. So
wow,
a lot of bet on that. The Magic Johnson just got hit, 525,000. So you're starting to see these really, really one of a kind pieces starting to hit, and it's very exciting.
So as we mentioned at the top, we have our Bid to End Cancer auction going on right now. You might even be watching this on your computer and that on ABC, NBC, Fox, all the major channels. But it's a real thrill. We're getting boxes directly from Major League Baseball and getting to open them up. So we're going to take a look at some jerseys that we got to unbox this week. Take a look. All right, we're back. Day 2. We've received some more material direct from MLB teams to benefit our Bid to End Cancer charity auction, with all the funds going to Stand Up to Cancer. And we've got some packages. Let's open them up.
It's Christmas. It's time. It's time. What do we got?
Like every morning.
That's right.
Oh, first off, great one. Mancini signed jersey, especially significant. He's a cancer survivor, and every dollar from this auction is going to benefit cancer research. Beautiful signed jersey there.
And what's great is these are coming directly from the teams. I mean, these packages literally, as we're opening, Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, Angels, Major League Baseball is participating, and the goal is to wipe out cancer. So we're counting on you guys to come and bid, win some of these things, and, you know, be generous and get something you've always wanted.
All right, package 2. What do we got?
Package 2. The good guys.
Those hometown colors.
So interesting when you get into these sporting teams. It's like who people like. I mean, this could be the most loved or hated team in baseball. I'm going to say we love it.
Oh, it's a Bellinger signed jersey.
Cody. That's very cool.
It's classic Dodgers colors there. All these materials going to be up for bidding just a few days, and you'll be able to add it to your collection. Just go to ha.com.
Every Tuesday, we're going to have a drop, new items. We have bats and balls and bases and all kinds of things coming in all price ranges. Some killer game use stuff coming in, so check Heritage every Tuesday.
Just go to ha.com/standup to register to bid. Oh, and we're back. Oh. Exciting stuff there. Been a big thrill to get to open those boxes. They come from the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Padres. Who knows where they're coming from? We get to open them up, and every dollar from those is going to a great cause. Tony, what do you got on the
Christmas
big board?
morning every time you get to open one of those boxes.
Absolutely, it is. And what's better than Christmas morning, Tony? Come on.
Platinum night.
It's right there.
Oh,
right there.
It's close.
It's close. It's close. What do you got on the big board?
Exciting bids coming in 1920s Ruth, the single sign Bobby that we talked about.
Yes.
92,500. 1973 Dolphin Super Bowl ring presented to owner Joe Robbie, 20,000, which is kind of a cool piece. If you're a Dolphins fan, it doesn't get any better than that.
Oh yeah.
The Magic Johnson we mentioned before, 525,000. We got the Ruth, the Kershaw, some of the Jordan stuff. 1999 Upper Deck Legends, Michael Jordan, numbered 19 of 23 at 40,000. So that went up 5,000. The Peyton Manning, 77,500 for his first jersey. And
how much?
77,500 right now. So that's
going to be a six figures.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
All right, Tony, you want to talk about some jerseys? We've got some great gamers.
Yeah, we do. One really stood out to me. 1945 Everett Ziggy Marcel, game-worn Kansas City Monarchs Negro League jersey. Very, very difficult to find anything, especially a uniform from the Negro Leagues. You just couldn't find that stuff. They used it to the point there wasn't much left, and most of them probably just got thrown away or discarded. This one here, you got the pants and you got the jersey, especially, and from the Monarchs as well. So it's complete. There's
one of the most famous teams.
Absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely, and it's you got the Monarchs on front and the number 39 on back. So it's complete in every way. Right now, 19,000, and I anticipate this going for much more than that, just because there's a very, very small sample size.
Yeah, if you want one, you got to get this one. Essentially,
there's
just aren't
not
out
many at all.
And I love this next one you've got, Tony.
Yeah, the 1960 National. We've got two most valuable player awards. These are the most coveted pieces from a player's career. Dick Groat, 1961, the most valuable player. This is the Kennesaw Malton Landis Award, which will not be anymore. They're going to change the name of it, but still just a very, very iconic award given to the MVP. And this one right now at $35,000. Just a really, it's a centerpiece of his collection. Won a batting title. And of course, the Pirates beat the Yankees in the World Series.
Huge. For Mazeroski weren't there.
Yes.
And what about that Hank Aaron jersey? Tell me.
Yeah, Hank. We talk special items and you talk photo match. We've got Aaron's 3,000 hit photo match game worn jersey right now, 320,000. This thing should get $500,000.
So this sold in 2005. My first year at Heritage, Tony.
2005.
Yes.
That's a few years ago, isn't it?
For $20,000. And it was just a 1970 game-worn jersey. Photo matching wasn't a thing back then.
It wasn't.
It was a great price for it at the time. But yeah, now it's been photo matched to his 3,000th hit game, to the images where they stopped the game down and had a little ceremony. And it's photo matched to those images, which is great. Photo match, you can see it yourself. You're not taking some authenticator's word. You can make the own decision and perfectly match to it. And that is a huge item and a nice investment.
Yeah, I was going to say that just talks about our industry and the innovations that have really helped take some of these nice, great game used jerseys and take them to a whole different level. When you can photo match something like that, especially to such a moment, to a 3,000 hit, the numbers have gone up and up and up. I mean, this thing, from 20,000 to almost $500,000 that we think it's going to end at.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So while we're talking uniforms, got to talk about this one of the rarest uniform styles there are. This is a 1933 Woody English inaugural All-Star game-worn National League team uniform. amazing. The All-Star Game, the brainchild of Arch Ward, sports editor for the Chicago Tribune. They were having the World's Fair there in Chicago, and he thought it was a great event to lure more people there. It worked. It was intended to be a one-time event. Can you imagine?
I did not know it. Mike, dropping the knowledge here.
So Babe Ruth hit the first home run in the All-Star Game. It was a huge success. The players loved it. The fans loved it. The people making the money off of it loved it. So, of course, it's become a tradition. And if you've seen the images, the American League players wore their own uniforms, their respective uniforms. But the National Leaguers were issued special uniforms made for the contest. And it's one of the rarest uniform styles in existence. This is the first example we've encountered. We see it all, Tony.
Yeah, we do. And it's funny. I know at the National, we had a lot of people come up and look at that jersey. And
they've never seen one before.
Yeah, I had never seen one in person before. You see the photographs from the game, but I've never seen one of the actual game-worn jerseys from that, especially with that National League on there. Just such a cool concept.
And you can imagine the players who got those jerseys. It was the first time it happened. It was a huge success, a huge honor for the players. You can see why they didn't come out. They can hold on to them. I bet there's still a lot that stayed with the families and either got destroyed or are still there and probably never coming out.
Exactly.
So this one was issued to Chicago Cubs third baseman Woody English, who's playing in Chicago in the game. He came into the game in the top of the seventh as a pitch hitter and stayed in to play defense. And just a beautiful jersey, the road gray flannel with unique double piping around the collar. And that navy blue felt identifiers for National League and 17 on the back. And also it comes with a large photograph of English very proudly wearing this uniform. He's got a huge smile on his face, and it's signed and inscribed 1933 first All-Star uniforms. And this jersey's matched to that exact photo right there. So very cool piece, great authentication and great history. And of course, we've got some great modern jerseys as well. This one is fantastic. This is the 2019 Fernando Tatis Jr. game worn, and I know you love it, Tony. It's unwashed.
I was going to say it shows some pretty good use. There's some great dirt marks embedded on the front of this.
Right there from his rookie season. Photo matched, as we've talked about, to a June 29th game against the Cardinals. He pretty much locked up the NL MVP race this year.
He did. And we talk about players and athletes that kind of move the radar or change the game. He has changed the game from, for so long it was you hit a home run, you got to put your head down.
Right.
You can't show up the pitcher or anything like that. And he has turned the game on its head.
He's brought a lot of excitement.
And it's, and I know in the Major League commercial they have, it's never going to go back. It's not going to go back. It's kind of now, there's fun involved in baseball, and it's not as much as, you hit me, I hit you. He's such an exciting player, and he's a guy that's actually brought the Padres back now and made them relevant again.
Yeah, at the top. And he, as we said, this was from a game against the Cardinals, and the Padres won 8-1. In that game, Tatis authored an impressive line drive home run to deep left in this jersey. So he's going to win the MVP this year. This is a rookie jersey. He hit a home run in this jersey. It's got the Padres golden anniversary patch.
Love that patch.
And the MLB sesquicentennial patch on the right sleeve. And like we said, great display piece with those dirt stains. A lot of the modern jerseys, even the gamers, they look new. This one does not.
Exactly. They preserved
How's it smell,
well.
Tony? I know you smelled it.
Great. Smells of success.
Yeah, exactly. Of legendary status. So you talked about the 1960 MVP award. This is one of my favorite awards in the auction. It's the 1921 New York Giants World Series Championship pennant presented to Hall of Famer Johnny Evers. Tony, a lot going on with this one. Hall of Fame hardware from the first Subway Series 2.
That's before rings were really given out.
That's
they
exactly
did pendants,
right.
And there's not a lot of these, and they're so beautiful the way they have the name inscribed a lot of times on the backs of these things, and they present so well.
So the Giants would innovate the first World Championship ring in 1922. This is from 1921. So a bookend of sorts. Rings didn't become the standard until 26, but this was kind of the end of the pendants, and this is where it all became for the ring, as they would say. But yeah, huge piece here. Of course, Evers, the pivot man, and the legendary double play combination that carried the Cubs to the title in 07 and 08. He also won it in 1914 when he won his MVP with the Miracle Braves. And this comes from the Giants because he was on John McGraw's coaching staff in 1921. Okay. It was the first of 3 consecutive fall classic battles between the Giants and their Polo Ground tenant rivals, the New York Yankees. So the Giants won the title, and this is what they got, and a Hall of Famer as well. And the condition is marvelous on it. It's beautiful, and it's in beautiful condition. What more could you ask for?
They present
Tony?
so well, those. They really, really, truly do. And it's a Hall of Famer, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hall of Famer, World Series pendant, a gorgeous one. What's not to like, Tony?
But talk about knowledge. You had John McGraw and you had Evers, too, on the same. My goodness.
Seriously. All right, Tony.
That's not fair.
Speaking of awards, we have a really special collection in this auction.
We do, yeah. We've got the Willie Mccovey collection, which is 1 item's ending tonight is the Most Valuable Player Award. Everything else ends tomorrow. The centerpiece of his collection, of course, is the MVP award right now.
2 MVP awards in one auction.
I know. It's just crazy. When I saw the Dick Groat, I'm like, really? We have his too? And we have Willie Mccovey's. Right now it's at $60,000. Again, Kennesaw, Mountain, Landis. It's got the same design as the 1960 award. They kept this up until I think last year. Or
you don't have to reinvent the wheel, Tony.
No, you don't.
Once you got something classic like that, you stick with it.
It's just amazing to see him holding the award and thinking this is his actual.
The photo
one.
of him with Willie Mays. That's a cool addition to this lot.
Yeah, during the time period and whatnot. Just an incredible piece from Mccovey's collection. Of course, it is probably the top item from his collection. And we got to know a lot about Willie Mccovey, just going through the contracts, the correspondence, and the photos and everything else.
One of the coolest thing about selling a collection like that is you really get a peek into the life of these legends.
Really, truly do.
Who, especially guys from that era, you don't know too much about what their personal life was like. Yep. Like I was amazed when we were going through it. He was a big golfer. A lot of golf clubs. In fact, if you're a golfer and you're a Giants fan, tomorrow we've got 4 or 5 sets of his golf clubs. The bags and the clubs, they're monogrammed, including there's one that's photo matched. It comes with a photo of him, portrait really, sitting next to the golf clubs. So that's cool. A lot of his stuff that the Giants gave to him as he was tied to the team throughout his life. But the next one is, we've sold MVP awards, we've sold World Series rings, Silver Sluggers, Gold Gloves, but this is easily my favorite type of baseball award. What do we got?
The Babe Ruth crown.
Yes.
Right now, $14,000. I think we might have had Ernie Banks. I think we sold his. And I know we have LK lines coming up in a few months.
In fact, we have 2 of these in the vault right now, Tony. Can you believe that?
We had them both at the National. Yes.
Yes.
You're right. Just incredibly scarce and cool award, especially with the Babe Ruth attribution.
Are they still giving these out?
I don't think so.
Oh, man, they would bring that back.
Oh, I know.
Bring it back.
They should. Come on, MLB.
But yeah, such a unique award. The crown. I mean, what more to say that your tops right there? You got Babe Ruth's name on it, and you got a crown. Great.
And I know sometimes they'll show the guy wearing it.
Always. There's always a photo of them wearing it. What else we got?
So we got the 2002 National League Championship ring in the original box. In 2002, they made it to the World Series. They didn't quite finish it off, but that being said, this ring was given to Mccovey. They gave him World Series rings when they won in the last 15 years. They won 3 or 4 World Series.
One at the Rangers' expense.
I'm sorry, I would never say that because
no problem.
Sorry.
I'm over it.
Sorry. All that goodwill we had is gone after that. Right now at $62.50, really cool personal item from Mccovey's collection. And one of my favorite pieces from this collection, we have his 1970 game-used helmet, and we photo match it to a Getty image, which there's a white mark on the crown, and that's what they matched. Came directly from him. It had to have special significance. If he kept it, that was the only helmet that he kept from his playing days.
Definitely.
And just incredible piece. And that one has moved quite a bit. I think it's at $4,500 right now. and that continues to rise.
Tony, let's talk about some basketball. All baseball so far, but we've got some incredible basketball items, especially cards. There are some amazing basketball cards. Starting with this one, the 1957 Topps Bob Cousy rookie. Huge card here in a PSA near mint to mint 8.
Those are tough.
Tough issue. The key figure of one of the key figures of Boston's 50s dominance, and a beautiful example here. Just amazing condition. It's behind only 4 of nearly 1,000 submissions. Over 1,000 of this card have been submitted to PSA. Only 4 are higher than this example. Just really bright colors and the silky gloss on the surfaces.
Sure.
It is an eye catcher. And, basketball cards have been doing great. And this is one of those vintage ones that is super hard to find in high grade. So a great opportunity. And of course, if we're going to talk about the 52 Topps Cousy, we got to talk about, or the 57 Topps Cousy, we got to talk about Russell's rookie as well. Another iconic card in the same issue. This one, a PSA near mint to mint plus 8.5. One of the most important figures in basketball history. And this is his debut. And you're not going to find many finer than this one right here.
No, I mean, centering on that card, centering is just such a challenge. Back then, I mean, they didn't have computer cutting or anything like that, and the centering and registration on that card too is another big pitfall.
And
this one's really
so
nice.
There's 2 at PSA 8.5 and only 3 superior. So right at the top there. The image area on this one is fantastic. It's just bright and blinding. It really jumps out at you, and a super hard card. And I love that, kind of a rarity for basketball cards. He's playing defense here, which
he could block shots, but
really his forte.
Shots. When he blocked shots, he'd keep them in bounds. He wouldn't knock them to the 5th row.
He wasn't putting them into the stands.
No,
to get the ball back.
He would get it to a teammate. So he was such a smart player.
And then this next lot, there's a lot of amazing unopened wax in this auction, Tony.
Yes, sir.
And this is a legendary lot right here. 6162 Fleer basketball wax box with 24 unopened packs. Validated and sealed by Steve Hart and Baseball Card Exchange. This is just an iconic piece here. 60 years old, untouched. Tony, should we pop it open?
No.
What do you think? No?
No.
Can you imagine, though?
Would I have so much fun opening up product?
But yeah, I mean, the 61 Fleer is an iconic set with so many legends in there. 35 of the set's 66 entries are star cards and a ton of Hall of Famers. You got rookie cards from Wilt, Oscar Robertson, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West. And Steve Hart confirms in his letter that 3 of the packs definitely feature, one has Wilt Chamberlain, number 8. The other one has Wilt Chamberlain in action, card number 47, and the Elgin Baylor rookie. Definitely
so
included
you know that
in
you're
here.
getting.
If you want to pop them open, you got to figure out the mathematics on that, because PSA 9s and 10s are just going for astronomical prices, and there aren't many out there. But another piece that just the rarity of it, it is a great investment. It is only going to climb.
It's so funny that you mentioned, unopened material, because at the National this year, you and we went to one of the box breaks, and there was literally an entire section of the National that's just for people breaking product.
And that's brought a lot of fun to the industry, especially the kids. We did a lot of breaks at the National this year. I didn't have much luck. How about you, Tony?
I didn't. They gave me all the cards, though, after they would open up. Well, I mean, the kids got them first, and then I got whatever was left.
Right.
But it just continues.
Tony loves leftovers. We know that.
I got a Jordan Love card. I got a Jordan Love rookie. But, it's just amazing how much bigger and bigger and bigger these box breaks have gotten.
I remember, it was probably only like 5 or 6 years ago at the National. There was 3 tables of it. This old guy that works at Heritage, he's one of our VPs. I can't remember.
Anyway, you have a beard?
Like a scraggly gray one.
Full head of hair?
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
I can't come up with his name. But we were walking around and we saw it and we were like, what is this? And it was the guys popping open packs. They had the camera set up just like they have now. This was 6 years ago. And, now that's a huge part of the industry, a huge part of the hobby.
Shocked when I saw how many, and they're just constantly going and going and going. I mean, they just keep going.
It's fun, Tony. That's
It
all there
is.
is to it.
It's 9:04, so we have less than an hour to get your first bid in or on these items. The Marilyn Monroe, Joe DiMaggio. Maybe I should say Joe DiMaggio first, but sorry.
No, Marilyn, ladies first.
Okay.
Come on.
155,000 right now, so you're starting to see movement on that.
Wow.
Really cool piece for a football collector. 1992 Lawrence Taylor game used Giants jersey photo match to when he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
31,000. LT, I was
Photo
home
matched
for a
LT
week.
gamer.
And watching his highlights, he was a whole different level.
Yeah.
Just, you talk about a game changer. That's LT, and have a photo match jersey.
That Giants blue there.
Yeah,
too.
I love that.
Iconic look. All right, Tony, what do you got over there?
Oh, I've got all kinds of goodies.
We're going to talk about some gamers here.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk about
Your favorite item in the auction. We previewed it. We teased it at the top.
Yes, it is, and we talked about it in the office quite a bit. When I first heard about this thing, I couldn't believe it.
Same.
Magic Johnson photo matched game worn jersey from that history setting.
He says the greatest game he ever played. That's his
as
quote.
a rookie.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happened today? It would be the biggest thing in the world. It would be the biggest performance in NBA history if it happened today.
And there's been a lot of great rookies, but you can't imagine a rookie coming in, even how great LeBron was as a rookie, taking his team to the finals. The biggest star in the team goes down,
gets hurt,
takes over for him, and dominates.
At the center position. It's unbelievable.
So 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, win the game, win the title. It's photo match to the celebration afterwards. I love that. The champagne pictures.
I remember that, or I don't remember that, but I have that Sports Illustrated cover. It says like Magic's moment, and he's got the Larry O'Brien trophy, and he's got the big smile on his face. I mean, it's that jersey he's wearing.
He's the only rookie to win Finals MVP, and that's one of those things that's probably never going to be broken. Can you imagine a rookie coming in and winning MVP in the finals?
Of a finals, no less.
Just doesn't happen.
No.
And then so it's photo matched to Game 3 of the 1984 Finals as well. Their first finals against the Celtics. So legendary series right there. They were down in the series. And, the theory is he brought out his lucky jersey from his greatest game to wear in there to turn the tide. That's just wild. I've never known or seen a game-worn jersey that 4 years later it popped back up.
Yeah, when they first told me, I'm like, what? That's incredible. I mean, people don't save them and wear them years down the line, especially 4 years later.
Right.
It's incredible.
And speaking of iconic, this next item, it's two model-less beginnings right here. This is 1985 Michael Jordan game worn and double signed Air Jordan 1s. So Jordan wore these his rookie year. It's the Air Jordan 1s, legendary. They started a whole industry essentially. Like there was sneakers before, but not like that. Now, these are shoes people will buy brand new ones and just hold on to them because they go up in value. These were actually worn by his Airness his rookie year. The coating inside lets us know that it was from very early in the manufacturing. It has the player-only code, so the
player sample code. Yeah,
yes.
That's the first thing. Whenever I look at those Air Jordans, do they have that sample designation? And these do.
And the very cool part about this, Jordan gave them to a teammate who gave them to Gene Banks was the teammate who gave them to the San Antonio sportscaster Rick Lozano. And Lozano was interviewing Jordan at the Great Western Forum on June 12th, 1991. You know what that date is? The day Jordan won his first title against the Lakers. So Lozano was...
So he's interviewing him before that game?
Hours before the game when he would win his title, the clinching game. And, most reporters and press know it's a no-no to ask for autographs.
No. It says it on your press badge.
Yes, but he had these shoes, the Air Jordan 1s, and he knew the opportunity was too good to pass up, so he got Jordan to sign them, and he had his cameraman film them. You can watch the video on our website. So
did he keep his job?
He kept his job.
Okay.
I think everybody can say, all right, it was Jordan signing game-worn Air Jordan 1s. I mean, if you're going to do it, that's how you do it. So there's video of these being signed. He had him sign first pair because it was the first Air Jordan release. So a great story behind it.
The inscription,
yes,
is incredible.
So iconic piece, Jordan Air Jordan 1s, game worn, double signed, incredible display piece. You can see them, they're right there. I mean, that Air Jordan logo there on the ankle area, it's all iconic, Tony.
Yeah.
I can
And
barely
speaking of
see it
Air
myself.
Jordan, we just got the 1993 Jordan Eastern Conference Finals Game 4 game worn and signed sneakers went from 42,000 to 52,500. So there is a battle for those things right now. Speaking of Jordan, and the Ty Cobb contract at 250,000 right now.
Wow.
So
some exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, it is.
And Tony, you're going to talk about a Jordan item as well.
Jordan,
right?
1996 NBA Finals Game 6 ticket stub signed by Jordan.
It's a good looking ticket, too.
The only signed exemplar right now at 17,500. Of course, this was the 72 win season, which was historic in itself. And this capped it all off by winning the title. If they wouldn't have won the title, it would have lost a lot of its relevance, of course. But they did. And again, we don't anticipate a horde of these ever coming out. Just difficult to get this signed. And now just getting to Jordan to get an autograph is next to impossible. And, like we said, like I tried to say before, I had a little problem with it. Getting, when you can say one of one, the only known, it helps it a great deal. And this one is going to end in 48 minutes.
Yeah, we're getting close. So we have a lot of great basketball material. This one definitely caught my eye. A lot of basketball players, stock has been rising. And one guy that I think is kind of undervalued right now, Tim Duncan, the greatest power forward of all time.
Duncan.
So we have a great Duncan Spurs game-worn jersey in this auction as well. He's one of those legends that his stuff is definitely going to be very valuable one day. So something to look at if you're looking for an investment piece. But I love this one. I love the early stuff from athletes. This is a 1994-6 Tim Duncan game-worn Wake Forest jersey, game-worn jersey with great provenance, and Demon Deacon's one of the best mascots ever.
Absolutely.
Just a dominant college player. So this is from 94 to 96. In 95-96, he averaged 18 points, 12 boards, and was an All-American. And this is the classic Wake Forest style right here. Got a style match with Getty. And this comes from the equipment manager in the athletic department.
What I love about that jersey, it's got the dual champion labels in the tail with that exclusivity. I just love that. And Tim Duncan, my goodness, what else do you have to say about him? I mean, 5 titles. He put the Spurs on the map pretty much.
He's definitely one of those guys that I think, in the next few years, his stuff's really going to start to explode.
Yes.
And this is a unique one. I've never seen a Wake Forest jersey from him before. And there can't be that many. College teams are notorious for holding on to their stuff, not letting it out. And this one came from somebody in the athletic department. And he said, this guy's going to be a big
He's going to be
name in
something
the NBA.
else.
I got to hold on to this.
And it's not like they made extras of this kind of stuff either. And as a sophomore, he would have worn this probably the whole season, I bet. Too.
Right? Yeah.
Because they weren't switching out jerseys. It's Wake Forest too. It's not like it was a university that's going to be wearing, every 5 games are switching. They probably wore that the whole season.
Yeah.
And it's got that dual labels in it. And great provenance, just like you mentioned. So great piece.
Another guy in that same category, Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes.
So we've got a great Dirk gamer here. This is from 05-06. Dirk was 27 years old, really in his prime right then. He averaged 26.6 points, 9 rebounds, and the Mavs had a 60-win season and went to the finals for the first time. They didn't win it that year. Took 5 more years, but that was a huge season for Dirk. Yeah, really thrust him into the public spotlight. I mean, he was already an all-star and a frequent contributor on SportsCenter highlights, but this is when he really got focused. He put the team on his shoulders, and you could say that 06 loss is really what drove him the next 5 years until they won the title. And this one has really nice wear. Especially on the shoulder. Dirk would always play with that shoulder, before he shot free throws and in intermissions, and you can kind of see some rubbing and pilling there on that one, which I think is very cool. It's got the LOA from My Gray. It's got all kinds of certification. This is an ironclad one. And Dirk's somebody to keep your eye on. Legendary player, and I think great investment opportunity. And then this is a very unique one. We were talking about photo matching, and this is one of my favorite photo matched items in the auction. So 2021 basketball used in the game where Steph Curry passed Reggie Miller on the all-time three-point list. So a lot of people think Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. No argument here. I'll say
he changed the game.
Definitely.
You know, we talk about generational players. He literally changed the way that the game is played. It used to be in the 90s, dump it down low, kick it back out, dump it back low. Now it's just
maybe teams would shoot 3 or 4 threes a game, and now they're shooting that many every few minutes.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And, just watching him play, he makes it look so easy.
So huge game. He's going to be number one. He trails only Ray Allen, and he's only about 100 three-pointers behind him right there. So this was on January 23rd, 2021. They were playing in Salt Lake City, and he passed Reggie Miller, who would have thought Reggie Miller would be at the top of that list.
Yeah.
So Resolution Photo Match was able to photo match this to the game. You can see their LOAs in the online listing. So great job photo matching that. I didn't know if they'd be able to do it, but they did.
Basketball, that's got to be tough.
If you're a Steph fan, that's a cool historic piece from a game that's super important to his career.
Because you can have the uniform, you can have the sneakers, the basketball too. It's just such a cool, something different.
And he had a great game, of course. He went 5 for 10 from beyond the arc in that game. So likely he put one through with this ball during that game. Tony, you're up. What do you got over there?
We've got the Peyton Manning 1998 game-worn photo match rookie jersey from his first NFL regular season game. He threw a touchdown in this jersey.
Piece.
Yeah, it is. It's such a cool item. And I think as an investment, it is such a great investment. They photo matched. There is a loose thread on the back, A in Manning, and also there is on the front, there is an aqua face mask mark that they also matched. So it is definitely photo match, Resolution photo matching.
The Dolphins, like we said. How cool is that he played Marino in his first game?
Yeah, exactly. And I was looking on Getty Images tonight, and there's a great photo of them after the game. I'm sure Dan Marino's giving him advice.
He's probably nice try, youngster.
Yeah. you got to be a little better than that to beat me. But and it's got the floppy sleeve ends, which Manning has
high forehead and floppy sleeves.
Exactly, that's what he became
Manning right there,
known for. And after that, another iconic quarterback, Aaron Rodgers game used and unwashed Packers jersey from the Glenn Christensen collection. We have a lot of great items from Glenn's collection.
Really unique Packers stuff in there.
It is, and he lives very close to Dallas, which is
great
and this right now is a record for a Aaron Rodgers game worn jersey at 38,400 with the buyer's premium. And this is a record at this point, which will probably go up as we go on. And hopefully he can win a couple more.
He won the MVP last year. A lot of drama in the offseason. What kind of year is he going to have?
He's going to have a great year.
We got fantasy football drafts going on.
Oh, yeah, mine's next week.
Give people some insight. What do you expect from Rodgers?
I think he's going to have a huge year, and but he also has a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
So
they know how to draft those wide receivers.
They do. They do. Well, when you have
Rodgers complains that they don't take anybody in the first 2 rounds, but they always find some gems later. And he's still got Adams.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about Tom Brady. Why don't we heard of him?
I can't believe they booed him at the Hall of Fame.
I mean, come on. It's one of those things. Like LeBron gets booed sometimes too. You know, the guys at the top, people gotta hate. And I'm sure he cried himself to sleep on his bed of money next to his supermodel wife who makes more money than he does. So I think that stuff rolls right off him. But this is a very cool ticket. It's a 2000 Tom Brady Patriots versus Lions full ticket from his NFL debut. He signed it and he put the NFL debut inscription on there. Gem Mint 10 autograph, the only full ticket example graded. So huge
with that
item.
Inscription, I love.
And guess what? He's not doing this stuff anymore. Just like we said with Jordan, he's not going to be adding inscriptions like that to tickets. And this one is in incredible condition with a 10 out of 10 autograph from his debut November 23rd, 2000, my birthday, Tony. How about that?
Talk
What
about
greatness.
Historic day.
Greatness there.
It's amazing. I mean, I didn't know that was his first NFL action. I
Completed
had no
3 passes for 6 yards. So
Thanksgiving.
Everybody knew after that.
The NFL shifted after that moment.
And while we're talking about Brady, this is a cool item. I've never seen one of these before. This is a 2010s-ish Michael Jordan and Tom Brady dual signed basketball. So we've seen a lot of Tom Brady signed football, seen a lot of Michael Jordan signed basketballs. Here's 2 GOATs, unquestionable GOATs right now. I mean, whatever you thought about who could be challenging Brady, 7 titles, hard to argue with. So you got the 2 of them right here on the basketball. We had this in our booth at the National. I talked to a lot of people who said whoever wins that's got to get Gretzky to sign that. You know, and get the GOATs on there. Tiger. So nice, big silver signatures. That's just a very unique piece. I've never seen one before.
It's such a great idea, too.
Yes.
And you mentioned Brady. I mean, he signed on with Fanatics now. Mm-hmm. So I don't anticipate him doing a lot of that inscription type of stuff anymore.
No.
And, you know, he doesn't do a lot of signs anyways. So very unique. We got about 40 minutes before we enter into extended bid. The Ty Cobb Piedmont Gold Border PSA 8, $250,000. The Joe Jackson 1910 Old Mill, $350,000.
Wow.
So
huge cards.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And talking about those vintage cards, this next item is cutting edge, Tony. We got another NFT here. This is a 2021, the original Hail Mary NFT. This is a 1 of 1. Super piece here. Of course, NFTs exploded on the scene this year, and there's a lot of them out there, and a lot of people don't know what's valuable, what to look for. This is a great one. It's the first one I've seen with vintage on it because it is Roger Staubach, Drew Pearson, who was just inducted into the Hall of Fame, the first Hail Mary. After the game, Staubach was asked what the plan was, and he said he closed his eyes and said a Hail Mary and threw it up. Pearson brought it in against the Vikings in the playoffs, and that phrase changed forever. Now, every time somebody says Hail Mary, they mean a desperation of some sort. It changed the language itself, and it's a very cool NFT. It's about 10 seconds long. It's like a graphic novel, and it tells the whole story. But one of the coolest parts about this, whoever wins this gets to meet Staubach and Pearson, and they get to reenact the Hail Mary. And Captain America is going to throw you a bomb. How cool is that? And the consigner of this has played in Thanksgiving Day games with Staubach before, and he says he can still throw 40-yard bombs that hurt his hands. So, no problem there from Staubach.
You better not drop it.
Yeah, you don't drop it when Staubach throws it to you. And then one thing with NFTs, how do you display it? This comes with a 55-inch TV screen that you can display it on, and that TV screen signed by Staubach and Pearson as well.
So neat. That is so
So
cool.
very unique item there. If you're a digital collector, this is one to look at. It's got the NFT, and then it's also got the once-in-a-lifetime experience of meeting both of them. And if you saw Pearson's Hall of Fame speech, you know he's a lot of fun to hang out with. They both came here to the offices and hung out one morning, and they were both a lot of fun. So your chance to meet them right there. All right, Tony, you want to talk some football cards?
Some really great football cards from my wheelhouse, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
1986 Jerry Rice Topps Gem Mint 10.
Very hot card.
Oh,
right now.
this card has just gone up and up and up. And as we all know, it's so difficult to get this in a high grade. To get a Gem Mint 10, those borders are just notorious. Centering is so difficult. This one's got it all.
Full bleed design there.
Exactly.
Achilles heel.
I mean, and it's Jerry Rice early in his career, of course, as a rookie. It's got everything you could want. Arguably the greatest football player of all time, Jerry Rice. Right now at $57,500, 36 minutes left before we enter extended bid. So there is time. And we mentioned before, Lawrence
Well,
Taylor.
one thing I got to say about that Jerry Rice, I love the pose on it. Like a lot of people talk about the 52 Mantle, the look on his face, how he's looking to the future. I like that on this one, that He has got that look of determination. He's looking at the quarterback, waiting for the throw to start. I think this is one of those cards that's going to creep up into that iconic level as well.
Yeah, because it's so hard to get in high grade.
And nobody's topping his records. It's not going to happen.
No, and it's funny because, I mean, the game has changed so much and just so much passing now.
But still.
But he was so good for so long. Even into his late 30s, he was still good.
You know, and a lot of people thought at the beginning of Calvin Johnson's career, who was just inducted in the Hall of Fame, that he was a guy who could touch him. I mean, he didn't play long enough, not even close. And most guys are not going to be able to play that long at that high a level. I mean, he was damn near 40, still having almost 100 catches and 1,000 yards.
I mean, it was amazing what he did. And yeah, you're right. To play that well for so long, the longevity just doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
Guys don't play 15 years. And I don't know.
And then LT,
this one here, Gem Mint 10. You would think there would be a lot of these because there's the white borders, but again, centering on this has always been so difficult. And this one, 1982 tops, Gem Mint 10 LT. People say arguably the greatest defensive player in NFL history. Right now at 4,900, but that one will definitely be going up. Could even double in price.
And I've got to talk about this lot. I saw that's in session 2, closing tomorrow.
Okay.
Great one here. This is the 1994 Bumblebee Miami Hurricanes uncut sheet. What's better than one uncut sheet, Tony? 2 uncut sheets. And both of these sheets have The Rock on them. So
that card has gone way. I remember it was a little more affordable. Now it's forget about it.
Yes.
I mean, that card has gotten crazy.
I mean, he's a mega superstar. He's one of the biggest stars in the world. Here's his rookie card, essentially. The sheets also have, these guys, Ray Lewis and Warren Sapp.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he is the bigger name than both of them.
Yes, you're right.
And it's not close. And those are 2 NFL legends.
Hall of Famers.
So a very cool piece here. There's 2 sheets and a ton to like about it. You know, Tony, let's go to the big board, and then we'll take a quick break, and then we're going to talk some hockey when we come back. What you got on the big board over there?
Joe Jackson just went up to 425,000, went up from 370, so a pretty good battle on that. Darryl Royal, coach's jacket from Cotton Bowl victory, 8,200. The Babe Ruth
one.
Yeah, that is. I love those. Babe Ruth Gimbals, 250,000. So just a lot of movement. This is when everything starts to really get interesting, and you start to get into some of these battles, and it's very spirited right now.
All right, we're going to take a look at us unboxing some more material from our Bid to End Cancer charity auction, which you can find right now at our website or at ha.com/standup. And this is us opening some celebrity items and some all-star game items. So take a look.
I'm Robert Wolonsky, Communications Director here at Heritage Auctions.
Joe Madalena, Executive Vice President, Heritage Auctions.
And I'm Mike Provenzale, the Production Manager in Heritage Sports. And we're here with another shipment direct from Major League Baseball. The address it's sent from, Major League Baseball Authentication. And we're going to open up the items that are going to be coming up in our Bid to End Cancer charity auction.
And every Tuesday we have a new drop. So check every Tuesday. You never know what we're going to post because everything is being shipped to us like literally every day we're getting a box now.
It's like Christmas morning.
It's
every day.
baseball Christmas every day.
All right. Oh, hat in this one. Oh, there you go. Tom Hanks signed Patriotic Atlanta Braves hat.
Yeah. That's cool. Again, authenticated by Major League Baseball. Again, 100% of the proceeds of these go to cure cancer.
Huge item here. This is a 2013 All-Star Game Used Base signed by Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera.
Man, look at that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That is.
This will look really good at my house.
But I think, like, if you're gonna have some, I'd rather have that than ball, wouldn't you? That's really cool.
Another outstanding base here. This is from the
aesthetically
2015 All-Star Game in Cincinnati with that great Cincinnati Reds logo. Signed by some legends here. We got Johnny Bench, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron.
Henry Aaron. So this is a real base, right?
Absolutely, he's in the game.
This is used in the game. I mean, we're talking priceless here. This is coming out of Major League Baseball's archives. You're not going to get these anywhere else. You got to bid on these. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We need to end cancer.
And then we got the Home Run Derby used home plate right there. This one saw a lot of action from 2010.
Big Poppy.
All of these are going to be available in our Bid to End Cancer charity auction, benefiting Stand Up to Cancer. All the proceeds, 100% of the money raised from this auction, which will also include, beginning October 1st, the chance to throw out the first pitch at the Game 4 of this year's World Series, are available now, and we'll be posting new items, among them some of these, every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. So join us in our help and our fight to end cancer by bidding to end cancer here at Heritage Auctions. I'm Robert Wolonsky, the Communications Director at Heritage Auctions.
I'm Mike Provenzale, the Production Manager at Heritage Sports.
I'm Joe Madalena, work in the Entertainment Department at Heritage Auctions.
Oh, you work in the Entertainment Department, please. He is the Entertainment Department.
And we've got another shipment from Major League Baseball, direct from Major League Baseball Authentication, and it's full of more material for our Bid to End Cancer charity auction. So let's open it up and see what we got.
And this is day 3, and literally every day we get a box, and this is pretty cool, right?
The first one right there. Here, hold that. Official World Series ball.
Signed by John Legend. Look at that. I bet Chrissy Teigen would like to have this.
Second one right here is another World Series ball. That's going to be Billy Ray and Miley Cyrus.
Hey, look at that.
Do you think they were at the games?
Oh,
Sure.
sure. Big baseball fans. This is a team signed ball. I'll pass it down.
So when you get a ball like this, when it's specifically a World Series ball, is it going to increase the value?
Yeah, the collectors love to have an official ball and especially a World Series ball.
So this
Very
is an
limited.
All-Star game ball. These are All-Stars. 2004, look at that. Do we know who signed this one? Besides everybody?
Looks like the whole team right there.
The whole All-Star team, look at this.
Another 09 All-Star ball here, and this one's signed by music legend Sheryl Crowe.
Oh, look at that.
And these are great, authenticated by Major League Baseball. And again, these are coming from Major League Baseball. So if you want something that is 100% authentic, coming right from, the field at one time, I mean, this is your opportunity to support a great cause, Stand Up for Cancer, get something amazing for your collection. This is a once in a lifetime.
All right, 4 All-Star team. Here's
So one of them is
team
all right, the All-Star balls. One is signed by the entire NL team. One is signed by the entire AL team from the 2004 All-Star game.
We've got an
Yeah,
08
one
World
of the
Series
heritage
ball,
protocols
and
here in
this
Association.
one is signed by. That's going to be your guess there. That's got to be an entertainment person.
Is that
for
Taylor
sure.
Swift?
Taylor
Yes.
Swift.
That's
Nicely
Taylor
done.
Swift, I think. And let me be honest, if I can read Taylor Swift,
It's got a heart, right?
it does. That's Taylor Swift.
And here we go. This is
From Game 7.
2016 World Series game used base from Game 7.
In fact, here, look
Second
at that.
base.
Look at this. It even tells you where it's from. I'm sorry, but I find that to be... Look. I mean, that's...
So, Mike, would they have
Yeah.
switched these out throughout the game, or would this have been in the
No,
entire
this would have been
game?
the game this would have been used in the entire game.
And then 2020, last year's World Series is Game 1. Game
And this is
used
Game
base.
7. It's pretty cool. Game 7, that's really neat.
I mean,
Authenticated by Major League Baseball.
if you're a Cubs fan, I don't see how you can't... That's worth $1 billion to a Cubs fan.
$2 billion.
$3 billion.
Yeah, it'll never happen again.
That's exactly right.
This is one and only.
Well, certainly not going to happen this year.
This is like the curse of the Red Sox happening all over again.
And if you're a Dodgers fan, good God, look at this. That's fantastic.
So this incredible material will be coming to auction very soon, and tomorrow we'll be back with more material for the auction direct from Major League Baseball. Be sure to check in at ha.com/standup. Oh, great stuff, Tony. Really enjoyable. And we're going to have more stuff we're going to be opening up and adding to that charity auction as the weeks go on. So be sure to check it out. But back to the bid board for the Platinum Auction Session 1 closing tonight. How much time till extended bidding begins?
We have approximately 27 minutes.
Just
before-
approximately. Okay,
Approximately.
thank you.
Eddie Plankhat just got hit twice at 38,000 right now.
That's a cool piece.
It is, especially early baseball. There's not a lot of game worn material from that.
Is that
time
the
frame.
only plank?
It's the only
gamer
plank I've ever heard of. I mean, his
as far
autograph's
as uniforms? Yeah, his autograph's impossible.
There's nothing as far as game
I
use.
think we've
items.
seen one bat come through these doors, but yeah,
That's
that's
it.
the first game worn item. And what that pillbox style cap.
I
That is
love
so
that.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some hockey. And what better place to start than this one right here.
Love that jersey.
Early 1950s Gordie Howe game-worn Detroit Red Wings jersey. Mr. Hockey in his prime from his greatest era. And this is, if you're going to get a Gordie Howe jersey, you want it to be the Red Wings jersey with the white on top. That is a classic look right there. The most dominant era in franchise history. He won 4 cups there. He is just a hero. And as you might imagine from a 1950s Gordie Howe jersey, it is battered to hell, Tony.
And it's got a great story behind it, too.
Absolutely.
You know, there's good provenance behind it.
Tell that story, Tony.
I looked at the description a couple days ago, and I always like looking at the background and what it was given. So
the jersey was acquired from Jack Adams, the coach and senior manager at the Red Wings. 1954, Jack's aunt gave it to her neighbor in Cornwall, Ontario. And
but there's something with them going to the jail or something, some of the uniforms or something.
The aunt encouraged Jack to send a gift or souvenir following a local newspaper story about a prison inmates in the Detroit area.
There was something about
that were asking for it. And so he sent that, and just a beautiful jersey with that great logo, the logo they still use, of course. And this is the earliest Howe jersey that we've been able to offer. Golden age for the Red Wings there in the 50s. They finished in first place in the regular season standings every year from 48 to 55, claiming 4 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, I mean, those hockey collectors, hockey collectors are the most passionate of any of the game use collectors, and this is such a special piece. Great provenance, great use though too as well. So you got everything you could ever want, especially for a Gordie Howe jersey.
And to get a Howe was to have a goal, an assist, and get in a fight in the same game. And I would say, based on the use on this one, these saw plenty of.
It had a lot of everything
of those. Another great hockey item here from the card side. This is the 2013-14 Upper Deck the Cup Gretzky Lemieux dual patch dual signature. It's 13 of only 15 and 10s for both autographs there. So 2 of the greatest ever. Gretzky's the great one, and the Lemieux's right behind him in many consideration.
He's the really good one.
Yeah, really good one. Magnificent, as they say. But patches from both and 10 autographs from both on this one. So really beautiful card and just aesthetically pleasing. Oh, we've got a few comments. Scott Dickens says he's watching and he wants to stop by our Beverly Hills office. He says, are you on Olympic in Beverly Hills? We are. Stop on by. We'd love to see you. We do free appraisals. You can drop material off. You can pick up your invoices if you arrange it. Please stop by our Beverly Hills office, and we'd love to see you. Tony, what are you looking at hockey-wise?
I'm looking at the bid board, and the Magic Johnson got hit again. The finest known Marilyn Monroe signed photograph, 25,000. Yeah, that is. It's a great inscription too.
Oversized photo too.
Yeah. Just so hard to find those, and just to get her autograph in itself, but on that medium, on that nice photograph, such a classy look. 1978 O-Pee-Chee hockey,
nice.
So popular, and we're going to be up in Canada in a few months, I promise. we're going to be up there for the show, and that's where we always try to look for O-Pee-Chee. 1978 O-Pee-Chee box, right now $2,700, wrapped by Steve Hart. Again, this stuff, you just can't get enough of it. And as
wax is one part of the market that's doing really well and is continuing to trend up.
Yeah. Baseball Card Exchange, they were right next to us, and they were just about as busy as we were. Just constantly people coming in, getting material wrapped, and just it's a great market right now.
We have 2 very cool Olympic hockey items in the auction. We just had the Summer Olympics, and these both come directly from Bob McVeigh, who was a member of the 1960 U.S. Olympic hockey team that won the gold medal. And guess what? his gold medal is in this
Oh,
auction.
wow.
So everybody knows about the Miracle on Ice in 1980. The event that inspired all of them that they all pointed to was the 1960 Squaw Valley Winter Olympics. Same situation, underdog American team, and they won the gold medal. And there it is, his gold medal from the games. That is a huge piece. We've had the privilege of offering several Olympic gold medals, and this is one of the most important ones right here. And we also have, Tommy, I forgot to put this on the list, but if you go to the next slot, we have Bob McVeigh's game-worn sweater from the games, the Olympic Games too. And this is a classic patriotic look right there. The red, white, and blue sweater. And ooh, look at that. Beautiful. And as you might imagine from 1960s hockey, there is a lot of wear on that jersey. They were using them for the entire Olympic Games. I love that patch on the left front shoulder there as well. And as I said, they come from McVeigh, and they've got his letters of provenance with them. So huge hockey pieces there.
Just an incredible thing on this Babe Ruth ball that we talked about it earlier, the 1920s, one of the nicest ones. Just went from 97,500 to now 155,000.
Oh,
so a lot of people waiting till that last moment to bid. You can see it. There's some great battles. Magic Johnson just got hit 562,500. The Ruth contract got hit 150,000. So a lot of people waiting. Magic just got hit again 575.
I think that's going to keep
It's so
going.
much fun to watch. It's just incredible. You know, people just wait.
And you know what, Tony? It's not just sports items in the auction. You know what else we have? You mentioned the Marilyn Monroe. But we have the 1979 Sylvester Stallone screen-worn black leather jacket from Rocky II. Very cool item. 5 or 6 years ago, our entertainment department sold the Sylvester Stallone collection. Some really iconic pieces there. Obviously, an actor whose career is closely tied to sports. So this is a great one here. Everybody knows the jacket he wore in part 1, that when he was the muscle, if you will. But after he almost wins at the end of Rocky 1, he got a little money in his pocket, so he bought a nice leather jacket. It's even talked about in the movie, and it's a nice leather jacket. He wore this one throughout the entire filming, and there's a lot of iconic scenes from Rocky 2 where he's wearing this jacket. Really unique piece. And it originally comes from the Sylvester Stallone collection and has that provenance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, provenance from the man himself. It's just unbelievable. And I remember when we sold that collection, we had the ball.
Yeah.
He bounced and it went for, I remember watching, it was 60 or 70,000 or whatever. It was a huge number.
That was a different era of filmmaking and low budget movies. So, now if they have a proper costume, they might have 10 or 20 or 15 of the same one. These were all just, okay, you got that. You're going to wear it the whole time.
What you're using.
Same with that ball. Use that ball the whole time, and same with the jacket. So very cool. And one more thing I wanted to talk about in session 1, then we're going to start talking about some session 2 stuff while we'll keep up with the stuff in session 1 and where it's at. We have some amazing Ty Cobb material that we've talked about, including an incredible Ty Cobb card collection that is closing tomorrow night. But one of the most interesting pieces is this, which is the circa 1910 Ty Cobb cut plug tobacco tin. So one of the rarest Cobb cards out there is the T206 Ty Cobb with the Ty Cobb brand back. He had his own tobacco company, so it was regionally distributed. That's why there's not many of those Ty Cobb cards with the Ty Cobb back. But this is the tin that Ty Cobb tobacco would come in, and those cards. So it is a beautiful relic, has the great early 1900s
it's a great
graphics.
batting pose.
Yeah,
I love the
batting
pose.
pose. Ty Cobb, it's the same logo on both sides, and looks like it got some use by whoever was taking part in that tobacco back in the day. But that's a unique piece. If you're a tobacco card collector, this is a great piece to add to your collection right there. And while we're mentioning
the red background too,
yes,
on the front of that tin.
Red is such a good color for Ty Cobb. Let's be honest. The passion he had and brought to the game, the red portrait fits him. And so in session 2, which closes tonight, we have what we call the Ty Cobb Red Portrait Collection. So it is 30 Ty Cobb T206 cards with every possible advertising back available or known. including some of the rarest ones. And this is the rarest one. This is what we were just talking about, the T206 Ty Cobb with the Ty Cobb back. So if you take a look at the back of that card, that's where it gets really interesting. And this is from the Lucky 7 find. A lot of people are familiar with that Ty Cobb find. And it included this super rarity, which if you know T206, it's all about the backs. That's a great part of the genre that you can just dive into. We've been selling the David Hall collection for the last few years. I've learned a lot about T206 at the foot of the master, you might say there. But this is as rare as it gets. And so, yeah, tomorrow night, every possible Ty Cobb red portrait advertising back, all closing individually tomorrow night. Wow. Yeah, very cool stuff.
It never stops. It never stops.
So, Tony, let's take one more quick break, and then we'll hit the big board when we come back, and then we'll start talking about some stuff that's going to be closing tomorrow night that you can still bid in. And you know what? Tony, you know we've got the world's greatest comics department.
Yes, we do.
In our building.
We have a very healthy competition with them.
Yes, they're right across the hall from us. So they are bigger than their next 10 competitors combined. That's how big they are in the comics industry. And they have auctions as often as we do. In fact, the auction they have up right now that they just launched is the most incredible comic book auction I've ever seen in my life. Both the comic books, they have the highest graded Amazing Fantasy 15, the debut of Spider-Man, and a 9.6. That's a multi-million-dollar comics. They have original art, but they also have a modern comics auction going on right now. And for those of you who are looking to jump into comics, or you're around our age and you were reading comics and you want to know which ones are valuable, this is a good guide, but take a look at what they have going on in their modern comics auction.
Hi, this is Xavier Chavez from the Comics and Comic Art Department, and I'm going to show you some highlights from the first ever focused modern age certified comic auction. The first lot featured is a modern day equivalent of Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Miles Morales. From the pages of his comic, Ultimate Fallout number 4 spawned the beloved character we all know so well from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. Up next is another first appearance issue that is very popular with the newer generations, Gwen Stacy as part of the Spider family as well. This is the variant issue which were printed in lower numbers than the regular run, and with a 9.8 grade you'll be hard pressed to find another better looking copy. Here we have two Canadian price variants in the auction. First off is Amazing Spider-Man 252, and the second one is Marvel Secret Wars number 8. Both of these comics should be very recognizable with collectors, the first appearance of the symbiote suit and the origin of Spider-Man's black suit. But these copies are not the regularly 9.8 seen at conventions and comic book stores. These are the examples of the Canadian price variants which rarely come up for sale or auction. This is not only the first focused modern auction Heritage has presented, but it is also one of the largest modern Signature Series comic selections that we've ever offered at one time. The man who created it all in the Marvel Universe not only graces this cover, but also signed it only days before he passed into the Hall of Great Comic Book Legends. This is a must-have for Stan Lee collectors, and displays perfectly with that photo cover of the man. The first appearance of X-23, who was popularized in the Oscar-nominated movie Logan, signed by the cover artist Josh Middleton, another hard-to-find comic. Wolverine in his first solo miniseries, signed by 9 creators, and it's still graded a 9.8? That's unheard of. The cherry on the top of this example is that Joe Rubinstein added a remark after signing it in silver ink. We have an incredible selection of high-grade Walking Dead issues in this auction as well, with of course a CGC 9.8 first printing of issue 1. But this copy is the hard-to-find Black Label variant. 2 versions of this cover exist, one with the mature reader advisory in white lettering, and the one offered with the advisory in black ink. How many times do you see a CGC certified 9.9 of any comic? But an X-Men number 11 with an uncanny team cover image drawn by Jim Lee? This is the perfect issue in more ways than one, but only one collector will be able to display and admire it in their collection. Lastly, we have some fascinating rarities. A book which CGC has only certified 8 total copies in any grade. This newly found copy graded a nice 8.5. Reprinting early bone material by Jeff Smith, this is a grail piece for any collectors of that adorable comic character. Every collector has seen or has had a Spawn number 1 in their collection. It was McFarlane's creation that later spawned comics, toys, and movies. But few collectors have seen less held one of these color era variants. Certified by CGC in a qualified green label because not enough copies exist to consider it a variant, Don't miss your chance to bid on these and other highlights in Heritage's first focused modern age comic auction. Good luck to all and stay safe.
Wow, amazing stuff. So if you're a comics collector or you're looking to get into comics or you want to consign with the best comics auction house in the world, guess what? It's right here. It's Heritage, and they're right across the hall from us.
Fantastic group of people that work there.
Yeah, they're great.
They do a wonderful job, and just great people. And there's a reason why we do more than anybody else in comics.
And it's not close.
Yep.
All right, Tony, what you got on the big board? We got
We've
10
got a
minutes
lot of
left,
bids.
11 minutes left to get your bids in before extended bidding begins on session 1 in 10 minutes. Session 2, you can keep bidding. You can bid all night. You can bid tomorrow, and we're going to talk about some highlights from there. But what do you like? What's
Couple
going
cool
down
ones.
now?
61-62 Fleer basketball wax box, 270,000.
Wow.
The one that I think is really Marilyn Monroe, 28,000. Eddie Plank, 39,000. 1952 Topps, Del Wilbur, PSA 10, 39,000 with a 12,000 estimate. There's somebody that wants to go up on the registry,
Yes.
and they are really battling. And
You know what else I saw? Look up that 1970 Nolan Ryan that we have in session 1. That was going nuts the last few days too. In our summer card auction, we had some incredible record prices for 1970s rookie cards in 10s that, had low pops, but weren't one of ones.
Yeah, you're right.
So what's that? Nolan Ryan?
95,000 with a 40,000 estimate.
Yeah,
for a Gem Mint
95,000. So that's the second year card, the 70 or the 1970, right?
Is this,
Nolan Ryan.
yeah, third. Jesus.
So huge card there. So we're going to keep you apprised of what's going on in session 1 as we get close to extended bidding and extended bidding starts. But we've got hundreds more incredible items tomorrow in session 2. Cards, wax, memorabilia, whatever you're into, we've got it, and some impressive pieces. Tony, you got some items you want to talk about in session 2?
Absolutely. Jackie Robinson, of course, his place in not just baseball history, but just in Americana is really
He's an icon in every fashion of the word.
Exactly. Single sign ball, a single sign game used ball. So the person who got it got him to sign it, and they wrote down the particulars of the game. Kind of a larger Jackie Robinson, starts on the side panel, goes into the sweet spot. 3,600 right now. You would think there would be a lot of Jackie Robinson single sign balls out there. Not the case. There's just not enough to go around.
Yeah.
And we also have an index card, which is signed by him at $1,550. I remember when Robinson index cards were $600, $600. They've tripled in price. They've steadily gone up in value through the years. And again, there's just not enough of his signature, and he's just such an icon in the game that these will continue to go up.
Yeah, and I mean, he's someone, like you said, that transcends sports. He's an American hero. So one of the best investments, and what a cool piece to own. That's a beautiful autograph on that index card there.
It is.
Very nice.
Peyton Manning, 82,500. So somebody just jumped in on that.
Yeah.
Watch that one go.
All right, so we talked earlier, we opened the show with the 1910 Old Mill Joe Jackson, and we mentioned the letters that we have. So we've got quite a few letters from Jackson's lawyer to him in the 1920s as his lawyer was dealing with the fallout from the Black Sox scandal. And this one has great content. They all have separate content related to the Black Sox scandal and the lawsuits and court cases. This one's from 1923. It's a letter to Shoeless Joe from his lawyer. And it's the earliest of the letters that we have in the auction, and thrilling content in this one. So his lawyer writes, quote, Buck Weaver called at the office the other day and requested me to obtain from you an affidavit sworn to before a notary public to the effect that you had no connection, as far as you know, with throwing the 1919 World Series.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's getting an affidavit. This was, of course, all the 8 men out were trying to get back into baseball because they had to go back to their regular jobs. And, just the shame that was thrown on their names. A lot of them were struggling. They were trying to prove their innocence. So this is the legal office that represented all 8 of the 8 men out. And this is a loaded letter to Joe Jackson asking him to get an affidavit saying that he had no involvement with throwing the World Series. So great content there. And it's got the envelope as well, which is a nice touch and a great display piece there. Another great collection we have that's closing tomorrow night is a Ty Cobb photo collection. All these photos come directly from Ty Cobb's personal collection, not directly. He gave them or willed them to a teammate, and it comes from that teammate's family. So all of these photos were once owned by Ty Cobb. So these are images of himself that he loved. And this is an incredible one right here. This is a 1907 Ty Cobb original photograph. This is the image used for his T206 bat off shoulder card, one of his most popular cards. In fact, we have one tonight in the auctions. I think it's in a PSA 7. Look at what that card's doing right now, Tony. But instantly recognizable image. And this is the full figure of the image. It's T206 Cobb off shoulder. I think it's like lot 3 or 4 in the whole thing. But an iconic image right there of Ty Cobb, and Ty Cobb owned this image. So very cool. And if you're into original photography, so what's that bat off shoulder doing right now?
The photograph or the card?
The card.
The card, one's at 4,300. Oh, one's at 36,000.
There we go. Yeah. So that one's a PSA 7, 36,000. This is the original image used for it, owned by Ty Cobb. It's at 50,000 right now. That's definitely going to go higher. But if you're into original photography, Tony, we talk about a lot how that's burgeoning part of the market. There are dozens of Ty Cobb original photos in this collection that he owned. There's a military photo. There's one from the 1908 World Series against the Cubs, which is very cool. It's him sliding into home. He only scored 1 run in that World Series, and that's an image of it. There's one when he won a car for winning the batting championship.
The Chalmers Award.
The Chalmers. It's a picture of him in that Chalmers car, and he's got the driving cap and the goggles on. That's a cool photo. Just some really nice ones that you don't usually see. Some of him at home and personal time as well. So a very cool collection. You should check it out.
There were a lot of people that came up to our booth at the National and looked at those photos and spent a lot of time because they were front and center.
And a lot of big photos too.
Yeah, there's oversized, but I was really surprised that a lot of people that came to our booth really looked at and just spent time looking at those images of Cobb, because you see them, but these are all unique. They're all technically one of them.
And I love the whole thing that he owned them. He loved them. He willed them to someone. It wasn't just something he had in a scrapbook and didn't know about. He left them to a former teammate who was a friend of his. Tony, what photo do you have your eye on?
This one here, if it looks familiar, it should. It's the actual photo used for Al Kaline's 1954 Topps rookie card. This one,
classic image.
William Jacobellis.
Nailed it.
I think.
Crushed
oh
it.
boy,
There you go.
I've seen the name before so many times. It's right now. It's at 3,500. Of course, we have the Al Kaline collection coming up in our November sale, and
another Babe Ruth crown.
Another Babe Ruth crown. Yes. These photographs have just gained so much momentum. The Type 1 photos of original photography used to create cards. This is Al Kaline, and he looks like he's about 18 years old here. Yeah. He's just a young upstart.
Great shot.
It is at the ballpark. His whole career's ahead of him. And that nice PSA slab. Just a great portrait of Al Kaline. And you're going to be seeing a lot of Al Kaline because we have a lot of great material coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be a very nice collection. What else you got, Tony?
We have a couple game used items. One of the nicest Johnny Bench game used bats I've ever seen. Caked with pine tar, great use, and it's also got a strip of athletic tape around saying when it was cracked, when this was secured. So it's dated. It comes from a great source within the Reds organization. So it really has everything you could want. And right now it's at $92.50 right now with a day to go yet. Just a really good example of a Johnny Bench bat.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is covered in pine tar.
I know, I love that. The pine tar. I mean, that's got almost as much as George Brett would.
A lot of character right there.
It does.
Whoa, not as much as George Brett. Okay, I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Not far. We got 2 minutes left before
2 minutes.
2 minutes before people have to get their bids in. Really cool for a Cubs fan. I know they're having a rough year this year, but a Hall of Famer, Ryan Sandberg, the earliest photo matched jersey in the hobby. that beautiful blue,
87.
yeah, with that oversized patch. Then you got the menacing Cub patch on the side,
Yeah, I
the
like
circular
that.
disc patch. 87 photo match, 7250 right now. Really, really good. His stuff has gone up quite a bit with him going in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And kind of some of an earlier time.
And that jersey is a style that our age, our generation remembers. WGN having the Cubs games on. You'd see a lot of Cubs game wherever you lived in the nation, and that was a very familiar jersey style right there.
Yes.
All right, Tony, let's talk about some basketball cards, why don't we? And, earlier I was talking about Tim Duncan. We have the Tim Duncan Spurs jersey. We have the Tim Duncan Wake Forest jersey. He's one that his cards haven't really exploded yet, but one of the greatest players up ever, top 10, got to be the greatest power forward, hands down, especially if you're looking at winning championships, carrying teams. So this is his 1997 Metal Universe Championship, Tim Duncan. PSA Near Mint 8. It's number 2 of only 50. So this is if you have a savvy collector looking for the next guy that's going to pop, could be Duncan. This is a good one for it right here. It's from the 97-98 Metal Universe Championship, and but a completely different product. And this is the Precious Metal Gems Parallel from the Metal Universe Championship. And there's only one graded higher. Great card from Duncan here, and one that may be a little undervalued right now. So you should take a look at that if you're trying to get ahead of the curve. And as far as getting ahead of the curve, nobody's getting ahead of the curve.
The same thing.
On Luka here. Beautiful card. This is the 2018 Panini Flawless Luka with the Star Swatch signature Ruby. And this is a Gem Mint 9.5 with a 10 autograph. Beautiful one there with the 3-color patch. It's got the silver as well, the jersey variety. And gray card, it's number 6 of only 15, and none graded higher than this one. Beautiful, bold blue signature. With Luka and the Mavs blue, the blue signature is just a nice combination right there. And this is a outstanding Luka card at $36,000 right now. So if you're looking
the next big thing
for somebody to invest in, hard to beat him. And then how about this right here? This is the 2019 Panini Immaculate Collection Zion Williamson, Ja Morant right here, dual autograph, 2 of the greatest young stars. The Rookie of the Year, and Zion, if he hadn't been injured, it would have been a real battle for Rookie of the Year. 2 of the biggest from that class, 2 of the most exciting players right now. There's only 10 out there. This is number 6. 10 autographs from Beckett for both of the stars right there, and none graded higher than this one, which is a near mint to mint plus from 2 of the youngest stars in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA, they market their stars so well.
Yeah.
And, these guys are going to be they're the next generation along with Luka.
Yeah, and I like what I've seen from Morant. He is a lot of fun.
He's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch. Absolutely.
All right, Tony.
Bid board. Okay, we are in an extended period right now. The Peyton Manning, 92,500. So
that's going to keep going.
It is going to keep going up. Clayton Kershaw, 24,000. So that one's seen some action as well. So
that is a high price for a Kershaw jersey.
It is.
Could be approaching record status there for the MLB debut.
Babe Ruth game used and signed that from 1920 at 550,000 right now. Wow. So that one is
earliest known signed Ruth gamer right there. That's museum quality, no doubt.
And some pretty good action on the Marilyn Monroe and Dimaggio baseball. 225,000 right now. Couple guys fighting on that one. So,
I think that's going to keep going tonight.
Yeah.
So much in the industry over the last year, the big prices have been for one-of-a-kind items, finest known, highest graded, and a lot of items in this auction that fall into that category. And that Joe Dimaggio and Monroe ball is one, so finest known.
There's just so many six-figure
items. How many are there? This is only the second we've seen. We see everything.
Yeah.
I mean, in between our department and our incredible entertainment department as well, it's only the second signed ball we've seen.
Yeah. And he was so secretive and he was so protective of her after she died. Nothing ever came.
And that was the thing. To get a ball signed by both, you had to find them at some point when they were out like that, and you had to have a baseball on you. Mm-hmm. And this is an official league ball too, which is a nice addition. But you weren't going to be able to find the two of them together at a ballpark. They weren't doing signings. They were together such a short period. And when they weren't together, he wasn't going to sign anything that had his autograph on it. Yeah. So I bet you want to talk about a Packers item, Tony.
I did sneak in one.
Yeah.
1937. And the reason this is valuable is not from who you think it would be. It's 1937 Packers team signed envelope with Curly Lambeau, Clark Hinkle, Arnie Herbert,
cool.
Don Hudson. But the guy that makes this such a valuable piece is George Whitney Calhoun, who, along with Curly Lambeau, founded the Packers. He was a newspaper guy through and through, died in 1963. There are very, very, very few autographs of him out there, and nobody really has Calhoun's autograph, and nobody thought to get his autograph as well. And right now it's at $52.50. But this thing has quite a bit of room. I think this is easily a $10,000 piece. It's a day left,
and aesthetically pleasing how they signed that envelope. They got all their names in there. Yep. They left each other space. Nobody hogged up some big room or
nobody signed in the middle
bigger.
Or over somebody else.
Yeah, nicely done.
It is.
So one of the more interesting football items in the auction, I remember when this came in and I recognized, I said, how do I know that painting? This is a 1960 Jim Brown original painting by Daniel Schwartz, and it was used for the cover of the September 26, 1960 Sports Illustrated magazine, which I highly recommend you go check out the Sports Illustrated archive and look at this article. It's an article written by Jim Brown about his techniques that he uses, and they had somebody illustrate it. And it is very cool. He talks about how he punishes people, and, it was kind of for young players. How does he do it? How does he take on tacklers? There's even a part where he's talking about what he does when 3 people are trying to tackle him, which not many people had to do. But it's a very cool article. So this is the original painting that was used for the cover of it. And it's just a great image of Jim Brown looking like
Jim Brown.
A badass. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's how he always looks. And this painting is a great example. I mean, he's scowling right at you, and you wouldn't want to tackle him with 10 people, basically, if you looked at him like this.
Imagine him coming around the corner.
No.
I mean, even a
so
linebacker.
Fast, so powerful, and elusive.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that could have excelled in any generation.
Yeah.
Even today,
definitely.
he would have been a monster.
So cool piece. Daniel Schwartz did a lot of commissioned work for sporting magazines and things like that. And that is an iconic one right there.
Some really interesting bids.
Yeah,
Peyton
let's hear it.
100,000.
We told
Magic
you.
Johnson, 587, 500. Babe Ruth signed bat, 25,500. Aaron Rodgers, 35,000. So yeah, just incredible numbers across the board. And 44,000 for Gordie Howe.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
love that Gordie Howe jersey. All right, we haven't talked any boxing, Tony, and this is a cool boxing card item. We've got some amazing prices for the 1960 Hemet's Journal Muhammad Ali rookie card, his first card. That is just a spectacular card. What's so interesting about it is it was issued in the 1960 Hemet's Journal, a Swedish magazine that had a preview of the 1960 Rome Olympics. Muhammad Ali was the undisputed star of those Olympics. He won the gold medal, had an incredible performance, and you got to see a little peek of his personality. It wasn't quite where it would be later, but he did a lot of interviews for international audiences, and that's really what put him on the map, those 1960 Rome Olympics. So this is his rookie card. It was issued in a Swedish periodical, so very rare. We haven't seen very many of the cards either. They had to be cut from the sheet, so there's not many in high grade. But this is the first time I'd seen this. This is one of the sheets right here. It's graded SGC Authentic, and it's pretty cool because it's got Ali, and then it's also got Rudolph.
Wilma Rudolph?
Yeah, Wilma Rudolph, who's another American icon and Olympic hero. She won the gold medal. Incredible track star who had an amazing career and then went on to be an amazing track coach. So she spent her whole career in the sport, and she's got a really cool image. Ali's is cool. It looks like he's about to jump into the ring, and she's just laying back all relaxed, like, I'm about to take this thing, no question. So a cool piece here. You've also got John Liljegren, the Swedish speedwalker, is on there. I know you're a big fan of him. You got Wilmer Rudolph, Cassius Clay, and then Harold Nielsen, a Danish footballer. So real international flavor on here. But two of the biggest stars of the 1960 Rome Olympics, Rudolph and Muhammad Ali, right here on the same page, both of their rookie cards. So that's a cool, unique piece.
612,500 for the Magic. So that just kind of
it's just going to keep going.
Yeah. We might be here all night.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
And Tony, I knew you wanted to talk about this one. This is the 1985 OPC Hulk Hogan #1 BGS Gem Mint 9.5. Huge card, great image, and super rare. Would you say Hulk Hogan is the Babe Ruth of wrestling?
Yes. Great promoter. And, anytime he does autograph signings now, I mean, he sells out. And he was at the National. And, the wrestlers, him and Ric Flair, have just these big, huge lines.
I mean, he took it from the small towns to Madison Square Garden.
He did.
Basically, he was there that whole time. And so this is the OPC version. There's also a Topps version, but the OPC version is far rarer. It was produced in very limited quantity. OPC was just testing the wrestling market at the time. This is 1985. So yeah, people who know that know wrestling cards know how rare this one is. The highest graded, none higher. Also, Tony, I'm sure you know that there's a Hulk Hogan movie coming out.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so expect Hulk Hogan material to
brother.
Yeah, get up a little bit.
I did not know that.
Yeah, wow. We'll go see it together.
All right. We got to get the popcorn with lots of butter on it, though.
Of course, another big story in the industry this year is soccer cards, Tony. Most popular sport in the world. No surprise. A lot of people have been waiting for it to start blowing up.
Yes.
Here's a huge piece. This is a 2014 Panini Prism FIFA World Cup Soccer unopened case with 12 boxes in there, Tony.
A lot of opportunities.
Huge set, very popular issue. There's Prism Parallels by the Cornucopia, different colors. You got blue, red, purple, green, crystal, gold, the gold power, the black. There's one of ones for all of them. Then there's autographs and all the big stars, of course, Messi, Ronaldo, Clint Dempsey, Percy, Tim Howard. Even Pele has a basic version in there as well. So each box has 24 packs. Each pack has 6 cards. Tony, you busting this open? There's 12 boxes in there.
Yes.
Let's do one. Yeah,
yes.
Just do one, right?
Yes.
Pop the case open. Yeah, well, this is a $60,000 case. Right here. You'd still pop it open?
You got to let me think about that a little bit
Something to
longer.
think about. Something to think about right there.
That.
Those cases aren't the most aesthetically pleasing items we offer, but a lot of value in them. And a lot of people sitting on those, which I think is very smart.
Larry Bird,
personally.
Rookie uniform, just 180,000 right now.
Wow.
So, wow.
Tony, I got to talk about the Marvel stuff that we have in the auction.
I know you love that.
So this is we were just talking about wax boxes. If you're into non-sports stuff, and everyone knows how popular Marvel has been over the last 15, 20 years, and that is only going to increase. They had a very limited, they're great at marketing. There's not many surviving of these. This is the 1975 Topps Marvel Comic Book Heroes Stickers Wax Box, 36 unopened packs in here. Yeah, so a lot of people can't afford unopened material with Mantle, Ruth, and Garrick. How about Captain America, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, the Hulk, Punisher? Why not?
There's a lot going on there.
Thor, Iron Man, Human Torch. Yeah, so this is the stickers wax box, and the outer box on this one is in very nice condition. A lot of them you see are kind of beaten up that are unopened, and there aren't many that are unopened left. But yeah, these used to sell for like $500 or $600 would be a great price for these a couple years ago. This one's at $2,700 right now. So those are going up in value. Marvel's not going to stop. They're doing very well on Disney Plus, bringing Marvel to the forefront for a lot of other people, young people. And these are some cool vintage items. There's a couple unopened boxes we have in this auction, which I would encourage you to check out. And we talked about how there's some great entertainment items in the sports auction. And this is a cool one here. I'd never seen one of these before. This is a 1977 Elvis Presley last live performance full ticket, Tony. It's PSA authentic. Who had a ticket to see Elvis and didn't go? In 1977.
At Market Square Arena.
Yeah, Market
That was
Square
in
Arena.
Indianapolis,
What else
remember?
were you doing in Indianapolis in 1977?
I was 1 year old. So
Someone-
I know what I was doing.
So someone didn't go see Elvis that night, but they kept the ticket. Turns out, and of course, no one knew at the time, this was his last performance, June 26, 1977. He would tragically die shortly after. But yeah, there are not many of these full tickets out there. As you might imagine, people were going to see these shows, some of the most popular shows in the world at the time. And right in his jumpsuit and Las Vegas style, he was a real showman at the time. And
Even
was
at
also,
the end, he was.
yeah,
Even at
always
the
an
end.
incredible entertainer, but a real showman at this point. So as we approach the golden anniversary of Elvis's last stand, only 8 unused tickets from this farewell appear in a PSA slab. This is the first that we have ever offered, and it's one of the coolest non-sports items we got right there. And Tony, I got one more item I got to talk about tonight.
Is this Mr. Irrelevant then?
Definitely not.
Okay.
As a Longhorn myself,
I'm sorry. Yes,
this one has had my eye since the moment it came in. What a beautiful example. And UT, has been in the news. Them in Oklahoma are moving to the SEC.
What are your thoughts on that?
soon?
Or do we?
I'm very eager to play A&M again. For the history, but also because we almost always beat them. We beat them over 2/3 of the time historically, so that's just a win we can count on each year. But the big move to the SEC, I'm excited to go to some road games out there. Like, apologies to our Big 12 fans, but going to Fort Worth for TCU. All right, Baylor, you're going to Waco, Lubbock, but to go to Tuscaloosa and Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
And to Georgia, there's going to be some great games. Tennessee has a great stadium right on the river. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
for that.
and I've lived it now for 9 years, being in this area, and college football, it's a whole different level than what I was ever used to. And it's just amazing, just the passion that people have for it.
And even the high school here.
Yeah, even the high school.
So this is such a cool item. 1973 Darrell Royal game-worn UT coaches jacket from their Cotton Bowl victory, Tony. Amazing provenance on this one. The classic UT burnt orange trademarked color right there. So if you're a college football fan, if you're a UT fan or alum, this is a must own. But if you're a college football fan or collector, Darrell Royal, one of the biggest names in college football history. Cotton Bowl victory. The Cotton Bowl is huge in these parts and huge for UT. So they beat Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide in the Cotton Bowl while he's wearing this jacket.
And such a cool part of it, it's got his name chain stitched in there on the swatch. It's doesn't have his initial written or anything like that. It's got his name in there, so it's definitely his. And I think that's such a cool selling point of it. And there's not a lot of stuff to collect from coaches. They have the actual jacket that he wore in a game.
And when they won the game, he was carried off the Cotton Bowl field on his players' shoulders wearing this jacket. And there's images of that. So that is an iconic piece of college football history right there. And I'm excited to see where that one ends up. Let's see where it's at right now. $82.50. This one closes tomorrow night. That's going to be a 5-figure piece, no doubt. And someone's going to be very happy to own that. And my birthday, as I mentioned, is coming up November 23rd. If somebody wants to pick that up, gift it to me. I'll
special
just say
presentation
that.
to Mike Provenzale.
Yeah. So what do we got on the big board? What's going on,
so
Tony?
Much, I don't even know if we have time.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
D206 Cobb Portrait Red PSA 2.5 from the Lucky 7 fine $220,000.
Wow.
Peyton Manning rookie jersey, $175,000.
Wow, it was at 100.
It was at
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. LT $34,000. The World Rookie PSA 9 $170,000. Packers Super Bowl II championship ring $22,000.
Oh, that's the one Lombardi gifted to his friend.
Yep.
When you're synonymous with the Super Bowl, you give Super Bowl rings as gifts, I guess, is how you do it. What's cool about that one is the guy he gave it to, there was a picture of them in the stands at Super Bowl III together, the guy he gave it to.
Sure.
His personal friend. So the first Super Bowl Lombardi wasn't in, he was going to watch it.
He's going to still watch it. One that's gotten just a lot of action, the Pete Rose bat, the ties Ty Cobb, 250,000. So that has,
and that's
really,
one. It's really adds something to it that it's corked. You know,
it
just
does.
Pete Rose's whole history, and Charlie Hustle, he wanted to win. He'd do anything to win.
Whatever it took.
Yeah,
Whatever it took.
So that adds something cool to it that it's corked. And it's got the X-rays on the LOA, right?
From John Tobby,
yeah,
no less.
from John Tobby, the best in the biz. All right, so a lot going on. You can keep track of it on our recent bid screen at ha.com. And of course, plenty more material, cards, memorabilia, wax, set, game worn, game used, autographs, photos. What else?
I don't think there's anything else.
The Willie Mccovey collections tomorrow, Ty Cobb photo collection, the Ty Cobb T206 Red Portrait collection, the Glenn Christensen collection is tomorrow, the Bob McVeigh material from the 1960 U.S. Olympic win, his gold medal and his game-worn sweater. So some incredible material closing tomorrow night. You can bid all night on that. You have to have your bids in by 10 p.m. Central Time tomorrow on Sunday when that will begin. And I'd like to remind everyone, please take a look at our charity auction, Bid to End Cancer, where we are collaborating with Major League Baseball and Stand Up to Cancer for an incredible cause. There's some amazing material. As we said, the top item, you can win the opportunity to throw out the first pitch at a game at this year's World Series. That is unreal. Like, we talk about how collecting, part of it is brag-worthy. That is brag-worthy.
That's pretty tough.
That's where you just text all your friends and say, "Hey, turn on the World Series game. Make sure you turn it on early before the national anthem.
Don't miss this, guys."
So very cool, and some amazing material that's coming right from the teams, right, game-worn stuff right off the players' backs. They're contributing to it, and every single dollar you bid will go directly to the research to try and end cancer. Cancer is something that's touched everyone's lives, and now more than ever, a lot of people who are suffering from cancer are in more danger because of the pandemic. So it's great items for all levels of collector, and it's all going to a good cause. And you can find that at ha.com/standup. So please check that out. And as always, thank you to our consigners, the best consigners in the world. We appreciate you trusting us with your iconic treasures, all the stuff that is closing tonight. And thank you to our bidders, the biggest bidder base in the world, worldwide audience. We thank you for bidding in our auctions, and good luck tonight and tomorrow winning these iconic items that you are looking for. And as always, we have to say thank you to our operations staff. All these important items, they handle them all, they process them all, they keep them all safe. They are the best in the business, and we couldn't do what we do without them.
They did such a good job at the National.
Unbelievable.
I mean, every time we get a consignment in, you hand it off. They do all that. They pack it, they ship it back.
They're experts in all these things. We are not experts.
They did a fantastic job, and they did such a great job.
And thank you to the staff of Dozens who helps us put on this show, from the hair and makeup team to Tony's wardrobe team, to the 15 cameraman and boom mics and best boys and grips that are doing it all right now. The directors, the associate producers, all of that. Thank you very much to all of them. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. We had a great time. We hope you did as well. And you can look for us on Instagram Live coming up next week. And until then, everybody enjoy the auction and good luck.